love, give it all. His filthy fingers said it all. Yeah. Give it all. Well, he said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. He's lazy, I said all. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, he said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. He said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Come on, yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Well, he said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Give me some love, give me some love, give it all. Baby, give me some love.
I just need to focus on myself. Oh.
created like you. It clothes to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you from the inside out. It's time to say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it out. It's your time, oh. If you're on the bus, say yeah. Yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah. Yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere. Yeah. Young or old, I really don't care. Yeah. Life has never really been fair. Yeah. So put your fist up in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time, it's my time, it's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here
Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
I talked to my pastor the other day because of all the things that I saw going on around me were a little too much to take in full perspective from just the political perspective. Sometimes we have to take a step back and take a look at all the things happening around us and consider maybe some of the things we're fighting against aren't just political. Let's discuss that along with all the politics and the news of the day. We begin with On the Clock. Joining me this morning on Georgia Fort's day off is none other than our friend Pastor Anthony Galloway, who's joined us on many occasions. And I am so excited this morning to have Professor Anthea Butler join us to this conversation that on Fridays, quite frankly, often go over into philosophical debates, sometimes religious questions. And Professor Butler, your work, your book, that has come out, I think, actually makes you the perfect person to have this conversation with: white evangelical racism, the politics of morality in America, and your work as the professor of religion at the University of Pennsylvania. I have been a fan of your work, and thank you so much for coming back on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Great to be here.
The pleasure is ours. I want to jump right in. At the risk of making this show overly religious, Georgia Fort, she sent a question in last night that she wanted me to pose to the two of you because of the nature of your work, and actually it cut to the core of some of my thinking in the background. She wanted to know, in your time and your analysis, how do you view the things that are going on around us? And just for context, for anyone who's been living under a rock, we have a full-blown pandemic. 700,000 people gone in this country alone, over 4.5 million on the global stage, and yet the leaders in our temple seem to be drunk with folly. So I think her question is kind of poignant this morning. Professor Butler, would you jump in there?
Sure. I think her question is really important, but I'm going to answer it in a very different way than you might expect. This ain't nothing new. This has been part of what has happened throughout history. We have gone through pandemics. We have gone through people who are religious leaders who are not paying attention to the signs of the times. We have gone through political leaders and leadership that has been neglectful of what has happened with people dying all around them and trying to make their money. So I think that one of the things that we have to be is, number one, be sober-minded about where we are. And number two, to realize that these things have always happened. Now, does this mean that this is the end? I don't know. But I think that this time we can measure what we think the end is because we have a better sense of the world around us, whether we're talking about climate change or escalating violence or the move of a pandemic. We can see that a lot better now. And so the anxieties that people have will always be rising in times like these, especially when we are so well connected.
And Pastor Galloway, I want you to jump in there, obviously, but I also want to bring on the screen the images that kind of inflame that feeling, right? We saw the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, literally on fire. We see the wars that are happening around us. We see the oil leaks, and you have the declarations, like Professor Butler said. You have the declarations of these pastors who like to say these are the end times, but how much of it is of our own creation?
Well, one of the things that's looking at these images and looking at what's happening, around us, the thing that's most aligning with the eschatological bent of revelations and what we see in our sacred text is the looking at the obvious evidence in front of us and denying it. Kind of burying our heads into something and calling something, looking at it in his face and saying that it ain't real. That's the part that I think is one of the biggest pieces of evidence that line up with that thought process. But Dr. Butler, in your book, which I got a chance to pick up, and it just I couldn't put it down. But in your book, in one of their concluding statements, you talk about especially that this is nothing new. You say it plainly. You said to put it more broadly, evangelicalism is an Americanized Christianity born in the context of white Christian slaveholders. It's sanctified and justified segregation, violence, and racial prescription. If we weren't looking at that as signs of moving towards a precipice, right, then what we're seeing now is not new for many of us. And so I just wanted to co-sign what you said with using your own words. I think you're right on the head with that one.
Yeah. I have to say, I mean, it's been the end times for Black folks for a long time. So, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why is it that people are asking this question when we have always been in peril since the first, boat came to Africa and decided to take away slaves. So, it's been the end times for us for like 500 years. So, I think if we look through this, and we look at scripture like white people do, then it's something else. But if you're looking at scripture like Black people do and understanding that our ancestors have been trying to tell us what's been going on, then you begin to understand that this is just part and parcel of what capitalism has done, what white supremacy has done, what racism has done. And we need to see how we are both complicit in helping that, and what are we doing to stop it?
That is. Let me hold my commentary. I want to play a clip here of a right-wing pastor by the name of Perry Stone. He's just one voice out of the litany of voices that are jumping on the national stage and declaring this is the end. And I think your framing is so perfect because the way they are selling it to their audience is if they are entering some type of unique period of oppression that they've never seen before. And I want to really juxtapose what they consider to be oppression with what you all have said already this morning. Let's take a listen in to right-wing pastor Perry Stone, who swears that this is the end of days.
I am absolutely convinced. I'm 62 years of age. I've been preaching for 46 years. And I'm not saying this in a boasting way, but we probably have well over between 172 to about 175,000 hours literally in study. That's reading, studying, word studies, research, reading books. And that's not an exaggeration, because since I was 16 years of age, I would go 4 hours, then 8 hours, and sometimes 10 to 12 hours a day. My staff knows I'm telling you the fact. That's what I do. And in the process of the study and the research, I am 100%, not 99.5%, that we have literally entered the last of the last days, the time of the end.
The time of the end. And in context of the conversation, they're talking about the vaccine mandates. They're talking about the mask mandates. They're talking about all the different things that are happening right now. They're not talking about the number of people who are dying, Professor Butler, of COVID-19. They're talking about the oppression from the government requiring a quote unquote vaccine mandate.
When white people feel like they are being persecuted, okay? That's what it is. And so what you have to understand is this is a dual punch. The first punch is fear. Look at what's happening around you. Everything is going bad. Therefore, this must be the end times. I'm laughing when he said he studied and everything else, because I'm like, he's doing the same kind of studying that Nicki Minaj and other people are doing when they say they study in the vaccine. That ain't studying. That's just like, I'm going to pick what I want to read and I'm going to believe what I want to believe. That is not study. You are not in the lab. He don't know what he's talking about. And, I'm cool with that, because basically the end times really is that jacket and that hair pulled back and that bad look. I mean, come on now, really. I mean, I don't usually pick on people like that, but I just looked at this and I thought, man, this is like right straight from the 1970s and Hal Lindsey's, books where he would talk about the end and everything. There's a whole history of this stuff. So I think that when we look at people like this and we, people listen to this and, you just see that $100 right now for his President's Club monthly promotion for him to lie to you about stuff, and it's going to be the end. Understand what this is. This is pimping fear to scare white folks about immigration, to scare them about taking the vaccine that they need to take so that we all don't die. And, essentially, it's a way to keep your ministries going, whether that's, this guy or somebody else who's telling everybody it's the last days and you need to come to my compound. This is some Jim Jones mess. It just depends on how it plays out.
I think that's an excellent point. And one of the things and the patterns that you speak about, again, in your book had me enthralled. So I'm just loving on you for a second because it took some sleep away from me last night trying to put it down. But I think it's a very important point to look at the patterns. And that's one of the things that you keep trying to do in the book is to show us the patterns of things that are recognizable. Because if we are focusing on this type of game, right, that pimping out of fear, I think that's an excellent way to put it. Then we take our attention off of the things that we can actually mitigate. We are running to a climate precipice. We are running into, the denial of the very science that's going to keep folks alive, right? And I come from a tradition that helped take care of Philadelphia during the yellow fever pandemic. So, like, we have these patterns that we can address, but we're choosing not to. And I think that, above all, is for me is a marker that we may not be able to get out of this in the way that we have time and time again, because we are allowing things to pimp out our fear in place of actually doing the things that we know can mitigate our climate precipice that's coming in 50 years, or this pandemic, or the fact that not taking action now is making this pandemic worse because the virus continues to proliferate and change and morph beyond our ability to control it. And so I think that's a very important point to underscore.
What you said there that struck me, Anthony, is the part about perhaps there's something unique about this particular pattern. This cycle, rather, did I hear you correct? You're saying that in this particular iteration, while it is reflective of similar patterns, we're on a precipice of, so to speak. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. One of the things that's different is we have a very specific marker in which our environmental, and I come back to the environmental piece, but just because of the image of the oil burning on the sea, our climate predicament is serious. And we're not doing the things that we know we need to do now for that very real study empirical data-driven precipice that we're walking on up to. And so we're spending all of this time trying to convince folks to do something to take care of them and save their own lives. And as we're running to that climate cliff, that is the thing that makes me stop and go, whoa, something about this. And this is at the same time as we're running out of oil resource. We don't have gushers anymore, right? Right. So we're already in that space of if we don't make huge shifts, we're going to run out of very energy that's going to really destabilize. Right. So these are the kind of signs that we can start talking about and deal with. But instead, we're fighting people who don't want to wear masks, or fighting people who don't want to vaccinate themselves to save their own lives.
That's the part right there, Professor Butler, because it's almost like the kind of absurdity and spectacle and foolishness that was required to uphold the clear hypocrisy of America, right, has gotten to a fever pitch. Like what's required to maintain this cognitive dissonance of their hypocrisy while saying that we're here for freedom, right? Or they're here for democracy, but they're installing dictatorships. Like there's been an escalation in the kind of foolishness, and the timing could not have been any worse. Where at the fever pitch of the foolishness, we had Donald Trump in office when this pandemic came around. What are you thinking in terms of those patterns and this unique moment where the ignorance is so high that we can't even get people to put on masks?
Yeah, I keep thinking we live in that movie Idiocracy, where everybody's just really dumb and we can't figure out a way to get out because it's just been stupidity, right? So that's one thing. But I think, what is interesting to me is that what these people who don't want to wear masks say is that things were so much better with Donald Trump. Donald Trump would not have had us there. And I'm like, Trump is the cause of the reason why you're having to wear masks, because they wouldn't deal with this right in the first place.
That's right.
So I think, one of the things that we have to really come to grips with is that not everybody in America is real smart. I mean, this is a problem. This is a very big issue about the kinds of people who we live with every day who are, running our stores or teaching our kids or whatever, some of these people just don't have it all. And I mean, I hate to say it like that, but there's a part about education in this country that really needs to come together. Where we begin to understand that nostalgia is not the only thing that's going to help us get through this mess. This is what people want. They want nostalgia. They don't know how to deal with change. And the change that's scaring them is the demographic change and realizing that white people are not going to be the dominant group in America anymore. I think this is like this thing that is really stressing them out and making them lose their minds and making them go to these kinds of crazy issues like I don't want to wear a mask and spitting in people's faces at the store and everything. I just need to say here up front, if somebody come up to me in the store like this and try to get up in my face without a mask and start talking to me, y'all better have my bail money ready. Because I'm going to hurt somebody. I'm going to send them to see Jesus. Okay, they going to go straight up and no, don't pass go nothing before they go downstairs. I just want to say that here up front.
Professor Butler, you going to send them to the upper room?
I'm going to send them to the upper room. They're going to be speaking in tongues because their teeth going to be knocked out.
I think. I mean, I'll start putting money into Kitty right now because.
Thank you, please. Just hold the offering for me. That's all I can say. Just pray my strength to the Lord. So when I lean back to
send up the super chats for her bail fund. No, I'm joking. Don't send nothing. Go ahead, Reverend Galloway.
Well, I think again, Dr. Butler, you just tossing them up for I love it. I say to Ben oftentimes on Fridays, he kicks me into the gut bucket of existential crises. But I think what you said there, that fear of change, the demographic shift, authors like Ron Takaki and Beverly Tatum and all these folks who are scholars in many different zones, or talk about the browning of America. Edward Benia Silva, who wrote the book Racism Without Racists, this idea of change, right? And it's because we have spent so long not dealing with our national sin and being honest and truthful with it. We've been kicking it down the road and hiding in shame from it instead of dealing with it and working through it. So now the thing that's on the opposite side of this change is can cause this fear. The thing gets overlaid and prescripted, as you talk about it in your book, right? How evangelicalism was birthed out of this particular racist mindset and then tries to wrap itself in a new morality that tries to validate that, right? And so in that space of change and concern about removing, all kinds of things can enter in. When I deal with folks who have experienced acute trauma in their lives, one of the things that happen is they will pick up the mantle of a whole lot of erroneous things that are self-destructive because the choice is between that, which might give me a momentary, whether it's the drugs or whether it's the momentary pleasures of a relationship, even despite it's being abusive. When we're witnessing to the individual people and the needs there, we see this on the micro level that in the face of shame and all the concern about change and instability, I will self-destruct. That is a real thing that folks can choose. And so how do I, and mental health professionals talk about this all the time, how do I get somebody to scaffold and walk through the hard work of addressing the shame and then getting to actual health rather than choosing the self-destructive things? And I think at a national level, we have to have that same conversation because it's right now we're choosing the self-destructive path.
Yeah. See, this is why we always end up in the gut bucket of existentialism, man. Because you always we just setting them up for each other. But at the risk of us patting each other on the back for the rest of the episode, let me go to another clip that I want to enter into the conversation. This is a clip of Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. And he was recently in Summerville, South Carolina, at an outdoors event. And he happened to mention to his supporters who came out to see him, he happened to mention to them that they should get the vaccine, and they booed him. I want us to take a look at this clip because I want us to see what happens when the monster that you create comes back to eat you.
If you hadn't had the vaccine, you ought to think about getting it because if you're my age, I didn't tell you to get it. You ought to think about it. Well, I'm glad I got it. 92% 92% of the people in the hospitals in South Carolina are unvaccinated. Got any? 92%. True.
Professor Butler, I don't want to frame even a question. I just want your initial reaction to that.
Don't even frame a question. Because see, this is where you have to just look at this and say, their own monster is eating them. Okay, so basically, all those people that are sitting there right now, hollering, boo, and everything else, they just blowing out corona all over the place. That's first of all. Coronavirus is laughing because coronavirus is like, I have never feasted like I'm feasting right now on these white people's bodies. See, Lindsey Graham, Donald Trump, and all the rest of them that are now talking about taking vaccines, where they were saying they weren't going to do this before, now realize it's more white people dying than black people. And black people and brown people and everybody else is still dying, right? And this is a horrible thing. But the fact of the matter is they contributed to this disinformation campaign about vaccines, and now they realize that their base is dying off. We got people who have lost their parents, kids who are going to be orphaned, mothers who are in their 20s and 30s, don't have a husband anymore, don't have a way to make this money. It's so many GoFundMes right now. It's ridiculous. And they have created this situation. So I don't know what they expect right now because, basically they're going to end up winning 2022 anyway. You need to bring me back to talk about that. Because
we might talk about it. I actually have enough time to talk about it this morning a little bit.
We can talk about this right now because I don't think Democrats really realize how bad this is. Despite the fact that they're killing people, they are making moves to make sure that that even though they lose all these voters that are sitting here, because I guarantee you somebody in that crowd got coronavirus, they are going to try to get this election anyway. So, while we're sitting up here taking our booster shots and doing what we can and still wearing our mask and everything else, we have a big population that will not take care of themselves and don't care about anybody else and think that they are right. And this is why kids are dying. If Pfizer does not come out at the end of the month and FDA says it's okay for those 5 to 12-year-olds to take this shot, we're going to have more kids dying. School is going to be horrible this winter. And we stand to lose a lot more people. This is what it is. This is science. It's not, we don't have to predict anything. This is what's going to happen between this coronavirus and the flu virus, which will come. If we don't get vaccinated, if people decide to be recalcitrant, it's going to be very ugly. The bodies are piling up. You should really have a funeral home director on to talk about this because I'm telling you, that's who y'all need to be talking to.
Listen, Professor Butler, I just told the audience yesterday, I literally told them yesterday, I'm bringing on funeral home directors because business is booming. It's booming so much that they're expanding. They're buying freezer trucks. They're putting bodies in cafeterias. Like there is an overflow, and not just funeral home directors. Pastor Galloway, you could probably speak to this. Churches that have not been able to meet in person have been sustained by the funerals that they have scheduled back to back to back on Saturday. I don't know if you're seeing that, but that's what we're seeing.
So I'm in a little bit of a bubble because, despite some of our issues and challenges in the rural areas of Minnesota where I am, we're approaching 75%. We're on target to hit 75% vaccination rates in the state. Even in crowds like we just saw in that video, I walked into a bowling alley with a bunch of folks with self-proclaimed Trumper hats and things like that. But they also had a sign out front that said, this bowling league is vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you can't participate in this bowling league with us. And so we have some really interesting, caveats that are here in Minnesota. But what I'll say is you could also invite hospice care folks. One of the things that we've seen in the hospice care folks, the folks who get to watch the folks pass away. I said it before. I had a family member who's a traveling COVID nurse, and she had to wheel a wife into her husband's room to say goodbye before walking with the wife as she passed away. So we can see it, and it's one of these things where especially because we've wrapped ourselves in the culture, right? In that very clip, Lindsey Graham says 92% of people in our area who are dying are unvaccinated. Like, that data should tell you the story. To Dr. Butler's point, the science is right there in front of it, and he's still getting booed. And so, you get that chickens coming home to roost thing, 700,000 deaths, more coming along the way. We see the fruits of what happens when we try to wrap a fear-based culture of white supremacy around political ideology. It starts to speak against logic and reason itself. And we saw this in the lead up to the Civil War. We saw this in the responses. We saw this in the crowds of folks who were jeering as kids were entering integrated schools. I mean, you show you have that iconic picture of showing the baby in epitaph in a coffin as little Ruby Bridges walks into the school building, right? These are self-proclaimed Christian folks who are lining up to do that. So, we see this right in front of us. And of course, it's going to come back to bite you. The question becomes, can we find a way to take care of self like that bowling alley, right? I may have differed culturally and politically and even in theologically with some of the folks in there, but they had a sign out front that was very clear that you ain't coming to this bowling league that unless you vaccinated or show proof of a negative COVID test. And these are folks who I think would be a part of that crowd, but they wouldn't necessarily be booing. Can there be a middle ground in that space?
Professor Butler, what are your thoughts on because I think a lot of them maybe they are.
Those folks at your bowling alley are like this because they're Lutherans. They got sense. Okay, Minnesota is full of Lutherans. Those people got common sense. This is why this Prairie Home Companion worked, because they ate lime jello and they know if that stuff didn't kill them, they need to go head on and take a shot for coronavirus. So
I'm gonna steal that. I'm stealing that. I'm gonna get that T-shirt.
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that because you live there. You know. I know what I'm talking about, right? Because they've been eating all this kind of weird stuff, and they figured, oh no, this virus, this might kill us. We need to take a shot. Well, those are common sense people. These Baptists and all these other folks down in Texas and everywhere else, and these white supremacists in Idaho, ain't taking no Baptists because they think Jesus gonna save them, and Jesus is like sitting up here going like, I sent you a shot. You not doing nothing. So basically, I can't help, and that's the truth.
That'll preach.
These people have a fantasy land about who they think Jesus is, and Jesus just come with a magic wand and just you're not gonna get coronavirus. I remember reading somebody on Twitter, this maybe like a month or so ago, and they would say, I just don't understand why we're suffering so much. Because, how could this happen? We've been good to God. God's been good to us. And I'm like, well, what? But you didn't understand that wearing a mask and getting the shot could help God still be good to you. I mean, it's just the ways in which people just don't put together their thinking. They don't have common sense. They listen to these people lying to them, and they don't want to face the fact that the world has changed on so many levels. And that's why they are where we are today.
See that in there, there's a beautiful nugget in what you just said there, because one of the things that I encounter often is that folks feel like they don't have an alternative to a Christian life that they recognize and to making some common sense, all right, or trusting the facts and logic in front of them. I think that's a very excellent point because, in this space of false dichotomy where it's either this or that, you don't have a middle ground. Can I still have a conservative identity that does not play into what we saw in that clip from the evangelical pastor, with the $100 next to the name on the bottom? Is it possible? And I keep running into that. And when folks say it's either this or this, and then I say, well, what about all of these folks? What about that bowling alley group of folks? What about, as you call them, the Lutheran sensibility crowd here in Minnesota? There is a way. There is absolutely a way.
On behalf of all Baptists, I would like to say that not all Baptists are the type that...
Not all Baptists, I know, but let me be clear. Southern Baptists, not the National Baptists, not your Progressive Baptists. Hopefully y'all get a shot. But let me say something to the Black folks out here that know somebody in their family that's not getting shot. What's wrong with them? You need to just get on their case, because basically we have had too many Black people dying. They are contributing to the genocide of the race because they will not take a shot. And don't be like these stupid people. Don't be sitting up here like, well, it's like, who's that doggone basketball player that's acting like he don't want to get a shot and go lose up millions of dollars? Who is this clown? Because I'm telling you, this is just like the stupidest thing on earth. He will eat something from McDonald's before taking a shot. And Mickey D's got more formaldehyde and everything else in it.
On behalf of people who have not yet gotten over that junk food, listen, I'm sorry, Professor Butler, can you tell everybody how to find your book, White Evangelical Racism? Because you break these things down pretty succinctly right there in that book.
Yeah, White Evangelical Racism, The Politics of Morality in America. You can find it on the UNC Press website. You can find it on bookshop.org, or you can get it on Amazon if you want to give Jeff Bezos some more money to fly into space.
This is why I love you.
Yes.
This is why. Listen. At the risk of getting turned down live on air, in the next block, we're going to be dealing with Joe Biden's abysmal. I mean, his polling numbers are so bad. So when you mentioned the 2022 midterms, I'm like, I don't think people need to take that for granted that we might lose everything if you take in consideration the polling numbers that we have coming up in the next block. So Professor Butler, if you have occasion to come and hang out with us a little bit longer, you're more than welcome. If not, thank you so much for coming and spending this time with us this morning.
Man, they killing me at Penn. I got so much work to do. It's ridiculous. I got to be on a Zoom at 9:00.
There it is. We'll catch you next time. That's it. We're going to go to a break.
I'd love to come back and talk about it, though.
Absolutely. We'll have you back. That's all the time we have for On the Clock. Stick around for more on The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, James Williams. Exclusive in the building. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all doing well. Got your tea, your coffee, your drink, whatever it is you need to get your morning started. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy. Love y'all, mean it. Good morning, y'all. Happy Friday. Woo!
I stepped out, stepping on next. Little baddie, cashing big checks. I bought the whole block out, now that's a big flex. Peeping out my Uber
come on, screen
like,
dancing. That's all you gotta do.
Got new levels and new devils out the wazoo. Ain't no worries, life gets better when you find you. And if you
Patron Party Friday, y'all know it's going down tonight. 90s party. Y'all make sure that y'all are in the building, y'all. Y'all do not want to miss it. I got some good stuff lined up for y'all this evening. I didn't know the 90s had some. Yes, I did. Y'all make sure that y'all are there this evening, man. You don't want to miss a Patron party. It's going down tonight. If you have not become a member yet, patreon.com/likeitOrNot, patreon.com/the BPD show. Join either one of those and you get access to the Patron party tonight. You don't want to miss it. Have your ass there. I mean it, like Mr. Williams to stay us in the band. Good morning, everybody. Make sure that y'all are there for the Patron party tonight, man. Good morning, y'all.
Soul that needs more shine. Come together, and maybe I just wanna let it shine. There is no good or better. I think tonight I'm gonna make it mine. 1, 2, mean right hook. Come and test me, my mob beat will have you shook. It's a marathon, but baby girl, never let up. No need for speed, but keep your foot up on the gas pedal. Ain't worried about having a golden award when God made me to be an ice cold medal. Why are you always pressed about my life? Talking with your friend of me's about me, saying, ooh, girl, have you seen it like the shine lights? You tried, but you could never dim my light. Please know I'm a touchable girl. I'll slip through your fingers like a real fly kite. Why you wanna turn a good day into fight night? Constantly rejecting all the negativity. Take that bad energy and go and get your mind right. Say a prayer tonight to keep it so tight.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, y'all. Stay tuned. I've been cook up some stuff this morning for y'all. Good morning, everybody. I'm about to burn it down in here, light it up, burn it down. Whatever you need to do, get your morning started. Let's go. Happy Friday, y'all. Good morning. I hear you back there, Ben. I hear you.
I'm in line with the stars. Mars, I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf.
David.
Even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad. Let her ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle with it.
We had David waiting outside the club like Rebecca.
Stack, never lied on the rap, got a bag from the way that I write it. Cleanly concise. That I survived doing 80 to the house, then I hit her to the sky change.
Good morning, everybody. Chuck Diesel, Patricia, good morning, y'all. Demon Yama, Mama Melody Dennis, Nat A, Randy Rubble, good morning. Project Redfoot, Lily, good morning. Love you too. Laura Estrada, good morning. Roll the Dragon, Shoot the Dragon, Courtney SLP, on and on it goes. Who am I missing? One Source, oh, hippie, good morning, everybody. Tiger, what's going on? Shelby Hall, good morning. Blue Daddy, good morning. Barbie Braun, Esther Rochen, Six Dragon Daddy Lee, what's going on, brother? Sun Queen, my Ecal 147. I said that all wrong. I had a bin moment. Nicole, how good morning. Alicia, good morning, sister. Brother Tyler, what's going on, Tyler? Mara Cerise, good morning, everybody. Evergreen, good morning. Afraid Not, good morning, y'all. Nicholas Rodriguez, good morning. My boy Nicholas said he is about to go surfing. I would say take me with you, but I can't even swim, so I ain't gonna get in that water. Miss C. Beasley, good morning. Your folks, them. Joe, good morning, everybody. E. Smith, good morning, y'all.
We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad here, I'ma curve them all. 12
Savage Sweetheart has entered the chat. Savage Sweetheart has entered the chat. Good morning, Savage Sweetheart. Hey, Miss Sophia. Good morning. Infinite Content, what's going on? Yeah, we did Infinite Content. We covered it yesterday on the show. As a matter of fact, AT&T tried to call me yesterday to get me to switch over to DirecTV or something else. Spam call. They spammed the hell out of me yesterday. Good morning, everybody. Shoot the Dragon. Good morning. Good to go. Awesome. Got you. Brother Chuck Diesel, what's going on, Chuck? Chuck holding it down. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Act TV, wherever you streaming from. Good morning, y'all. It is time for some more Benjamin Dixon, Big Head Ben. Good morning, brother. That's my dog. Love you, man. That's my dog. Dwayne, roll that intro, y'all. Good morning, everybody.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday, October 8th, 2021. And James, when James has the microphone, there's nothing I can do about it, but enjoy.
Not a damn thing.
Good morning, DJ Exclusive. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brothers. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good, and as always on Fridays, we're joined by our brother from another mother, Pastor. Well, how shall we address thee, my brother, Anthony Galloway? How you doing, man?
He muted. There you go.
Reverend, yeah. Reverend's just fine, but I was appointed to St. Mark AME Church in Duluth, Minnesota. It's the oldest black church in Duluth, and was there to preside even when the lynchings happened in the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
So I'm to work. Bishop put me to work.
Hey,
come on, Reverend.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yes.
Congratulations, man. That is powerful, man, because you represent a I don't even know if you would you even consider your tradition radical? Because it's a lot of times like what we stand for ain't really radical. We just stand for, not hurting people. What do you think?
No, I think I can sum it up this way, right? Because there's all the news around Nicki Minaj saying, go do your own research, right? I would say I'm from a tradition that'll take that for the nuance that's within there. Because I know for a fact that when folks actually do that, in my experience and in the areas of congregations, when they go do their research, that doesn't mean go look and make up your own arguments. That means go look at what's out there and look at the credible stuff, as Dr. Sayed said last week. And when they do that, folks often arrive at either you know what, I can see the veracity of the vaccine, or you know what, I'm still nervous about the vaccine, but I'm going to mask and socially distant. That's the usual end. That takes nuance. And so I'm from a tradition that says I'm gonna sit with the nuance and take the stance of not being able to throw anybody away, which means that I got to work with folks even when I vehemently disagree with their choices in life. That's the tradition I'm part of, and that's what, to me, what's more Christ-like than anything.
Brother, as men of again, you're a man of the cloth. I'm somewhere in that spectrum. The thing is
you gonna take your sip of your mug like that though? That was the blackest sip of a mug I ain't never seen in my life. You know you want something to say on that.
Dang it! You saw that?
He was like, I'm gonna sip the tea and just be quiet over here.
Yep.
And I just realized it too, and I looked. I'm like, God dang it.
That said, see, now my point is my point is not even as funny as what just happened. So I'm gonna digress. Here we go. Let's move on, because that was a hell of a sip.
See, this is why I love us. And when I say us, I very specifically mean folks in Black tradition, because our wisdom tradition allows us to have things as much as a sip like that say so much that words may not be able to express. I need to stop. But James, I love you. That sip made my day.
Hey man, listen.
Anything that I can do, Reverend Galloway, I got you.
I'm trying. Anytime I get a little self-righteous on the show, James just do it extra deep. He's like, anyway, I can't even finish that sentence on air without. Is it 4:20? Here we go. Let's go to the story. Let's go to Joe Biden. Shout out to Professor Butler, because wow, that sister never ceases to amaze me, man. Like, she's simultaneously one of the most brilliant people I've ever sat on the show with, and just at the same time would like go snatching wigs on, at the drop of a dime. So I want to thank her for coming on, and brother, you had her book ready. Right? It was an awesome conversation. I wanted to have her stay and discuss the reality that it does not look good for Joe Biden or the Democratic Party as we lead up to the midterms of 2022. The expectation is that somehow I get the feeling that they think that this is going to be a walk in the park for them, they being the Democrats, and this being the midterm elections. Traditionally speaking, the president that is in power, his office, his party rather, loses power in the very next midterms. That's just kind of how the patterns in history have worked out. But when you add on top of it, these polling numbers that Jake Tapper is getting ready to go over in this clip from CNN, I think that there is more of a shellacking coming in this midterms than the shellacking of 2010. Let's take a look at that clip.
These new poll numbers, frankly, are brutal for the president. In this brand new Quinnipiac poll, only 38% of Americans approve of how Biden is handling his job, compared to 53% who disapprove. That's the lowest approval rating Biden has had since taking office. Another striking number, only 39% of Americans approve of Biden's handling of the economy. 55% say they disapprove of the job he's doing on the economy. When asked, is Joe Biden an honest president? 44% of Americans say yes. 50%, a plurality, say no. And one of the most damning results of all, more than half of the American people, 55%, say the Biden administration is not competent in running the government. 42% says the administration is.
That's not good. That's he was going to lose possibly the House anyway, because that's the nature of the swings of elections, right? So I'm not going to make this out to be the end of everything, but these numbers, considering the pandemic, suggest that we could not only lose the House, but we could also lose the Senate. But then I also want to frame it one step further before I let you jump in there, Pastor Galloway. I think that perhaps the reason they're in this problem right now is the same reason folks ain't going to get up and go and vote for them in 2022. Because what they done for us. But I'm sorry, Brother Galloway, Pastor Galloway, what are your thoughts?
Well, so I just want to say very clearly in my capacities, right? I am in an apolitical conversation.
Brother Galloway,
church-wise, right?
Anthony, what do you think, man?
Yes. I got you. So here's what comes to mind. You talked about the cycle, which is very, very important. One of the things that strikes me here is I look at these numbers and I'm saying to myself, yet again, we're going to be focused on political power keeping in our political office space, instead of clear direction that's going to get some legislation done. That is problematic. That's problematic for folks keeping their homes in the Iron Ranges of Minnesota. Just taking a broad sense, right? Without clear direction and ability to get things done, the numbers like this signal to me, and I just want to connect some dots here, right? What happens when you see things like this is it causes depressed turnout. And we know the less we vote, the more we are susceptible to these wide swings and lack of real policy. And so, and you can see the research that shows that the more voter turnout, regardless of what political party you're voting for, the more folks come out to vote in a wide-ranging set of spaces, the more legislation actually gets done, and the more we actually have direction on things that matter, especially important pieces. So I'm looking at these numbers, and I'm going, oh, here we go again. We're going to just be worried about tossing this football back and forth. Meanwhile, we can't get any clear national strategy on anything that matters. And so that is just as problematic as, folks, being complacent or maybe being within their bubbles, especially as it comes to the right to the body. We talked about abortion. We talked about, the voting restrictions that are making their way through different places. If you see the president's party as the party that's going to stand against those erosions of civil liberties and things like that, you've got a problem on your hands. You got a huge one.
And that's James, what he said, what you just got through saying there, Anthony. It's the fact that in the midst of all this, the intention is going to shift to who's going to have power versus the attention shifting to who's going to do something for the people. And James, the thing that really blows me away is if they actually did something for the people, whoever does something for the people will get power. But they
absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what it boils down to. Excuse me. The reason why those numbers are so low is, let's be honest, what has President Biden done since he's been in office? I mean, even Kamala herself. They haven't done enough. If they actually do something, yes, I understand we have the pandemic stuff going on, but we need more. There is so much more that is needed that needs to be done, and here it is. It's not getting done. So now everybody's like, okay, well, what the hell did we do? I mean, 45 was in office. He did stuff. It wasn't the right stuff, and it wasn't stuff that we wanted, but he did stuff. Biden is just like, he's just sitting back, almost like he's coasting, waiting for stuff to happen, and depending on everybody else around him, just to like, okay, y'all take care of it first, and then eventually I get to it.
And right there, though, that's the thing. Like, we're being sold the filibuster as the justification as to why we can't get anything done. We can't get any movement on the justice and police reform, right? George Floyd Act. We can't get any movement on that. We can't get any movement on protecting women's rights on the federal level. We forget about that. We can't get any changes in the judiciary because they're not going to pack the courts, despite Donald Trump having packed the courts. We're not going to be able to do any of that. And then most of all, we're not going to do anything on voting rights. Brother Galloway, we're at the stage where the Democratic Party is saying that we're not even sure, because of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema and the other Democrats who are not going to support it, we're not even sure that we're going to ensure black people's rights to vote. I understand these polling numbers now. And
the local conversation is the one that I'm really dialing in and paying attention to, because there have been some interesting developments, at least in our area. We're at this epicenter space, right? And so at one point where folks were trying to make very I say cultural political arguments, because that's one of the things that's also in Dr. Butler's book, right? Is the way in which culture wraps itself in political identity, wraps itself into white supremacy, wraps itself around, Christian morality, and I'm using big air quotes around them because it maneuvers in a way to protect the self, right? There are some breakthrough moments where we've actually have had some movement, and the local conversation is becoming more and more important. If we go back and we look just in an analysis space, it was the local game that gave rise to the current conservative movement. They said, you know what, we're going to take attention off the national for a second, focus on the local. Prior to that, a lot of the major movements for civil rights legislation did a very similar thing that led up to a more of a national strategy and shift. So, one of the things that I'm seeing folks in my area start to really focus on is local issues, and even to the point of working, regardless of political party, just to get folks to figure to do the tie that you spoke to earlier. If I can tie in something that affects me directly, regardless of which political party is pushing that through, I'm starting to see this shift in tactic, which I actually think is powerful. The biblical example, Christ feeds the 5,000, right, miraculously in that space. But if they're feeding each other, they're not feeding Rome. And there's a very strong sense of that radicalness that is actually starting to make some interesting bridges that are trying to throw off these cultural political markers towards something that's different. And so that's something that possibly, I'm trying to find a silver lining in here, that possibly may be within the poll numbers that tell us that we're going to be back in this political fight. Folks may get so tired of it that they stop trying to invest in that political fight and turn to the local conversations that actually have some daylight in there. I have folks in rural Minnesota who would absolutely agree that prosperity looks a lot like what folks in an urban community might want to say, right? Same list of values, but yet we're on completely different sides of a cultural political coin. What if we throw that coin away and stop feeding Caesar? Then we might be able to get into a very different kind of conversation.
What I was going to say earlier, James, is that being men in proximity to the faith, not necessarily men of faith, but we have to come up with so many words to not cuss people out sometimes, right? And so that's how our vocabulary becomes so prolific. But in this case, Brother Galloway said 1,000 words that are all 100% true. But basically, what I hear you say is that there's need of a revolution, of a certain type of revolution, right? The kind of revolution that turns completely away from the solutions that they told us to chase after, electoralism. Go ahead.
The poll numbers say it best, right? This is why that sip that you took at the beginning, James, was so powerful to me. Because I'm starting to see folks stop and just sip and go, you know what? I don't have to do that. When we actually break apart what people would put down, and I do this activity all the time, I highly suggest anybody has any kind of congregation, any kind of group that they do it with, sit down and say, what does prosperity look like? And you're going to get lists that look very similar, albeit how we get there is very different. And I'm seeing a society that actually agrees on a whole lot of different things, but we're so wrapped up into our cultural political tribalism that we can't even agree on for the exact protecting water. Protecting water is not a question until we get into the cultural political shrouds that we wrap ourselves in. That's why I say, stop feeding Caesar.
Stop feeding Caesar. I think that's the problem, though. We've been pretty existential all episode. Yeah. I want to play something. This is the funniest thing. It's like being in church. Dwayne, give me the sisters, all those sisters on the stairwell. Y'all been in church. I know y'all have. And you or anywhere you're supposed to be serious. You could be at a graduation. You could be in a lecture, and one person start laughing. It doesn't matter what you're even laughing about. Here's some black sisters singing a song. I don't even know what the song is about. I don't know what they're laughing about, but I'm tired of being deep this morning. Dwayne, run that clip. Please tell me you got it.
You're so special.
Whoa,
It is.
Caught in a barrel, man.
I don't even know what's funny.
I'll explain it to you.
Yeah. My kids be showing me these TikToks.
Right.
Oh my God.
Then you're gonna be mad, but there's a message in this.
I dare you. I dare you. Oh man. Ooh. Bless the name of Jesus.
There's a powerful message in this.
I don't know what are they laughing at.
Talking about they are dying.
So
wait. That's enough. Turn it down.
So
I can't.
So Ben, you can't tell me. You can't tell me.
Oh man, I didn't even know though. I didn't plan it. I did not plan it. I did not plan that. No. But go ahead.
So you can't tell me that from the moment the first couple of folks who had a little bit of melody and tune to them started, they know good and well that a friend behind them ain't got no ear or music sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
And that's coming. And it's hilarious. You can't tell me that you haven't been in sitting and waiting for a choir to sing, knowing that in the interest of letting all folks use whatever gift they've got, somebody in there just is not gifted in music the same way, and that's coming.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
When's the last time you got to sit and just laugh uncontrollably without anything having to make sense?
Man.
And just enjoy the freaking moment.
Just now. It's been a while. That's why I was like, let me throw a Hail Mary here, because let me tell you, I don't even know. So are you telling me the purpose of that? Is that a part of a viral trend, James? Like
it's the challenge. Yeah, the bad romance challenge where you're supposed to like match each other's pitch or tone, and as it goes on, like Anthony said, the first 2 or 3 people, they're about good, but once you start getting down that line, it starts sounding like it or not.
Okay. Now, Anthony, we got 2 minutes here. We got 2 minutes here, and you said that there's a powerful message in there.
Absolutely. You know what those? You know what that?
But go for it.
You know what that Stairwell of Sisters wasn't doing?
What's that?
Getting whipped into a frenzy with pillow numbers and political back and forth.
Exactly.
I think we are forgetting to live, being wrapped up into these fake crises. And I think Dr. Butler was talking about that. And this is a critique of both on the left or the right, because we got to remember that everybody, for the longest time, people have been whipped to vote or decide things or go back and forth driven by fear, not necessarily kind of logic and reason and what we collectively want to make a choice for. And so when we get to be in a stairwell and just laugh and enjoy each other and stuff that, imagine the level of conversation that can come in there when you're no longer invested in who somebody is in their heart as a person, but whether or not we can sit in enjoyment together. Like, leave it to the sisters once again to remind us of the joy that we have access to when our world tries to tell us we don't.
Church said amen. Listen, I got nothing to add to that. Pastor Galloway, tell the people how they can get up with you and support your work.
You can go to stmark-ame.org. And it's a wonderful congregation there. We have a good time laughing in the stairwell like that. That's actually kind of the sermon I'm coming up to on Sunday. But then also go to racialreckoningmn.org or the Minnesota Council of Churches Truth and Reparations work. There's a lot of racial justice work happening across the state of Minnesota, and doing it with nuance and grace that's willing to trust science and ask questions like Nicki Minaj at the same time.
If you want a pastor who's going to throw some subtle shade, go to this. And pastor, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, and I'm just poking at you because I know you big bro man. You can do what you want to, but tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're having our patron party, and we want to encourage everyone who is a patron. Patreon.com/the BPD show or Patreon.com/like it or not. I thought we'd had the graphic, but if you could come out, pastor, and it's okay with your congregants, we're having a 90s theme tonight, so we're going to be going like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Saved by the Bell. What other look? Help me out, James. How do we got to dress tonight?
Oh, Family Man, Run DMC. I'm thinking hip hop. Put some Adidas on with your bucket hats. You can't go.
As long as you got some TLC and some Arrested Development, I'm there with you.
Absolutely. Come on.
Pastor's coming down to the trap. Your Urkel costume.
Dwayne, you gonna wear your Urkel costume?
I threw it away.
James, take us to a break.
There's a story behind that. I'll tell y'all about it in the after party.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Pastor Galloway. We'll see you next time.
Oh, yeah. Dwayne, you definitely got to tell us that story. Either that, you're going to have to fish that Urkel costume out the trash can, because we going to need that tonight, brother. All right, y'all. Like it is coming up next. Y'all don't want to miss it, y'all. Y'all know we act food. It's Friday. Happy Friday, October 8th. It's going down like it or not. Starting up next. Good morning, everybody.
Closer, yeah. You're a little bit crazy. It's been days, but you never change. What's love got to do?
Shout out to everybody on Twitch right now. Afro Puff, Ginger Snaps, Ginger Snip Snap. Good morning. Jam Tomb. Good morning to you, Zivis X. Good morning, y'all.
So all my ladies who got a brother.
Yes, that's me in the chat room. That is J Devon. What is it? 43, 41? I can't remember which one it is.
I'm too fly. Bye bye. Bye bye, bye bye. You're a little bit selfish.
Antisocial, good morning.
Mad every time you lose.
Mimosa Dragon, J Devon 40. That's what it is. I know it's one of those. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, y'all.
Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah.
Shout out Roller Dragon. Good morning. Hollywood, good morning. Anna Hart, good morning, everyone. The church lady. Hallelujah, good morning.
You're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure.
Carly Wynn, good morning to you.
I can finally start over. Yeah. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye. 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 Here's to the memories. Cheers to who used to be. Your friend said that you left me.
Of course y'all did. Anything else would be uncivilized. I'm still here, y'all, but I gotta change that battery, y'all. So in the meantime, in between time, y'all check out this slide talking about Pfizer release data. Oh, and I missed it. Y'all give me 1 second.
I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Oh, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Don't got no heart, I got an icebox. Brand new rollin', swipe at the G-Shock. Moving slowly, I know the street hype. No more double, go ahead and detox. Yeah, yeah. Came from the trenches, they ain't showing us no love. Dagging in the city, all we wanted was a hug, yeah. We on the block like every night to catch a buzz. Get the cash and take my family out the hood, that's a must. Was a hood baby with no soldiers. Bad past never left my mind, it's taking over. No, I should've died, that's why it's hard to stay sober. Glad to see the sun, but my heart getting colder. Life so crazy, what we been through. When you die, the only time that they gon' miss you. Told my mama, no more tears, no more tissue. We was just some hood baby with some issues. Hood baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Hood baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Ooh, ooh. Pull up in that rain, see me ballin', yeah. 30 piece on my wrist like I'm Hardy. Either they love me or I'm a target.
There we go. All right, y'all. Now I'm back.
I've been busy and figuring out when you callin'. And on purpose, I hate the fact when you talking. With anything that you need, dog, I got you, I mean that. All this pressure make it hard not to relapse.
All right, y'all. Make sure that you stay tuned. Like it or not, it's coming up.
Life's so crazy, oh, it been good. I'ma love you way before I gotta miss you. Hope this mama bought my son, gave her some tissue. We were just a hood baby with some issues. Hood baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through.
Tonight, y'all, it's going down. You don't want to miss it. Patron party, 90s patron party. Kangols, bucket hats. I need to see all of that. I'm probably not going to have it on, but I'm going to have me a big gold chain on over here looking like I'm straight from the 90s or something. Y'all make sure you stay tuned. Like it or not, it's coming up in a few here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sarah. Uncle Bubba loves you, Sarah. Good morning. Love you.
Baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Hood baby from the struggle. Long time had a hustle. I'm glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through. Glad we made it through. I'm just glad we made it through.
I'm gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna move for the night. Why you so salty? I'll still take a bite.
Okay, we can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
Y'all bear with me 1 second. I had to do something really quickly. All right, y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up. Like it or not, it's starting in a minute. And y'all already know what y'all about to hear.
We be faster than Django.
Can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. I can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
Okay, cool.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Sarah.
Can't stop.
Hey, baby. You heard me on the show. Look. You see everybody, look. Say hey to everybody, Sarah.
Okay. We can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
I love you, okay? Bye, y'all call me later. I had to do it, y'all. I had to call my niece real quick on FaceTime so I can see it. It's been a minute, so y'all bear with me. That was my niece, Sarah, y'all. Sarah, love you, mean it.
Can't stop.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. Yeah. Y'all know what time it is. Good morning, y'all. Get your coffee, your tea, your drink, whatever it is you need. Definitely, Woodward, I appreciate you. It's time for Like It or Not, y'all. 9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like it or not is on your channel, yeah. Politics and culture, it's we change skin like we're supposed to, yeah. Interviews and all the news, we get to choose what gets the views. Like it or not, with Queen Azor, it's starting now, so stick around. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. It's coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. Oh, real quick, I forgot something. Hey, Dwayne. Hey, did you know that Cardi B has a sister?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what her name is?
Are we being serious or are we joking?
No, it's Cardio. This is his show. Rebecca in the background, like, is it Politics Bro? I am your DJ. DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, like it or not, you know what's the part, man. Now, like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, crowd.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it.
Today is Friday, October 8th, 2021, and we're covering news and politics all around. I can't even do it. Rebecca Azor.
What's up? I heard you guys had a
dog. James.
Yeah. I heard you guys had a whole blast yesterday. I didn't get to catch it because I was sleeping. But how was the show?
Oh, this sounds so lucky.
Oh, yeah. You missed the good one. You missed the ball game. Damn it. The ball game was going off yesterday.
Yeah, it was ball game.
Really?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah,
ball bearded everywhere, all through here.
There was.
Oh, really? Who? Oh, shoot! Because y'all know I love it like that. But look, so who did you have on yesterday?
We have
so I can go follow them on Twitter.
Tim Black. Tim Black. We didn't have. Well, Pascal was on yesterday. You already know Pascal.
Yes.
And the other day we had Ahmad Baba was on.
Is it Ahmad or Ahmed?
You know I don't pronounce by the name correct.
It's Ahmed.
Because I follow him on Twitter.
You already follow him. There you go. Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. All right.
Rebecca.
Protocol having been established. Hey, I want to let's start with another let's start with Drew comments. The basketball players are entering in the chat.
Drew comments. So the guy that was on the show that I missed last time. He's not bald headed with a goatee, but he got a little hairline.
He's not bald headed. But anyway, here's a clip of him taking apart this new approach from NBA players, trying to center everything around them and their research. Let's listen to Drew comments.
I would like an explanation to, people with vaccines. Why are they still getting COVID? If that's something that we are supposed to highly be protected from.
All right. Yo, athletes wake up 4 o'clock in the morning to lift weights, all type of conditioning drills, watch film on their opponent for hours just to get swept in the first round of the playoffs. Wait, what? Yep. All that preparation and practice just to get treated with a broom and a dustpan. All that working out don't guarantee a championship. It only increases the probability of you winning. It allows you to be more competitive against your opponents. If you get scored on, lose a game, don't make the playoffs, or don't win a chip, that don't mean preparation ain't worth it. Like, why you waking up at 4 a.m.? You can still lose. Might well go on back to sleep. The sun ain't up, you don't need to be neither. That's literally what y'all sound like when y'all go against the vaccine because you might still get COVID. It's a lot less likely, but you could. But even in that situation, it ain't the same. When you vaccinated and get COVID, your immune system look like the Washington Wizards. When you unvaccinated, it look like the Washington Generals. The vaccines have 3 major functions: film, scout team, strength and conditioning. It shows you what the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein look like, scout spikes to practice on, and creates neutralizing antibodies while also gaining B-cell and T-cell memory. So you're likely gonna watch COVID if it show up. I got you winning by 30, my boy.
With me having COVID in the past and having antibodies.
Actually, over a third of people who recover from COVID don't get protective antibodies. And even if they do, those antibodies aren't as abundant or reliable as you get from the vaccine. That's why you see people catching it 2 and 3 times. So you caught COVID unvaccinated and got little to nothing of benefit to show for it. You took an L. It's all good. Just go get some practice in so it don't happen again. Get vaccinated.
Why you doing people like that, man?
Because it's the truth. Hell.
So you look like the Washington Generals, bro. Like, bro, wow, damn. Yeah. Thoughts?
He said them all. I think it was very important for him to actually pinpoint the fact that 30%, if that's the number that he used, of people don't even get the antibodies or do get the antibodies. It doesn't matter. The number still isn't, the math isn't mathing for people who think that they're going to get the antibodies because they have COVID-19 already. And then for them to assume that, okay, these antibodies are going to be helpful to them. Now they lost a lung and they got COVID again. Now they're going to lose the other lung. There's nothing fighting it for them. Unfortunately, and this for me is very like for the basketball players, right? You know, come on, guys, protect yours, protect the people around you. You guys have done worse for the game. You've done worse for the game. Like, come on now. Like, you've sacrificed yourselves in ways that you couldn't have for this game. So, you know, right now, this is just saving a life to save a life, to save a life, to save yourself. Everybody is good. Now, you guys are just, you know, I believe that maybe if there's misinformation in these people's heads, they're going to have to do one of them diversity inclusion stuffs with these folks or get them out the game. They can't play. It got to be one of them. It got to be, what is it? Misinformation with COVID-19 teachings, or, you know, like one of them for these basketball players if they want to really play. Yeah. If not, then, you know, if not, then they can't play. And this is putting other people's lives in danger. And at the same time, I hear the other players saying, hey, you know, I ain't going to push that on nobody. And I get that part of it, but y'all playing with these folks. You're not pushing it on nobody, but you playing with these folks. And now you may possibly be having COVID-19 spitballs on your neck, COVID-19 sweat on your neck from practice. And you come home thinking, you know, the vaccine is protecting me, but then you done gave it to the baby.
What about your kids?
So.
Damn. Well, that's that on that.
Instead, y'all. I'm just like,
I got nothing to add. No,
being stuck and finally being stuck.
No, I just didn't have nothing to add to it. It was the whole thought.
She said all of it right now.
No. The only thing I would add,
it's a run-on sentence.
I don't have anything to add to that. I would like to juxtapose it, however.
Okay.
With this viral clip, last night it was trending on Twitter. And I want to play this because these are my friends over at Really American. I know the guy who did this viral clip. They had it trending on Twitter last night. Tucker is a white supremacist. Speaking of Tucker Carlson, here's a video clip that went viral last night on Twitter. It is from Chip Franklin. He's a radio host, white dude, but he came through with the receipts explaining exactly why. #Tucker
filibuster
is hang on. Let me go to the podium.
So take this moment right now for anybody who's watching who isn't a patron. So go to patreon.com/like it or not and become a patron.
This is what happens when David takes a day off.
I was just about to say.
David didn't take a day off. Clearly, he's still here. So
he's still here.
I didn't work last night.
He took a production day off.
I work 2 shifts per day.
Run the clip that I cut last night at 2:00 in the morning. Chip Franklin, here we go.
Want to hear an amazing story? Tucker Carlson just said this. There are no organized white supremacist forces in this country. Okay, there's 2 ways to interpret that. One is that white people like me aren't quite as supreme as advertised. Secret forces you can't see. But I don't think that's what Tucker meant. White supremacists. He's saying all the trouble in America is because people who aren't white don't know their place. Remember that when they come for you. When black people protest, it's a riot. The Antifa domestic terror movement. When white people protest, it's democracy. Have you been a good little Nazi? Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous kind of white supremacist. Something like that. He wears makeup and can complete sentences. It is embarrassing. He doesn't wear a swastika and chooses his words carefully. Must be QAnon. And he has millions of fans.
Where is Kamala? Where is Kamala?
Look, I don't hate white people or white culture. Whiteness! I'll eat a Cracker Barrel and listen to country music.
I'll still have my gun.
Well, not that music. Called whiteness. I honestly don't hate anyone. I don't like that group because of their skin color. But I'm getting closer. Goddamn right.
It's a revolution.
High five.
Yeah.
It's a revolution. I'm going to storm the Capitol.
Now that little portion of that that crazy lady saying "Where's Kamala?" I could use that in my own life every day because where is
every day.
But other than that, the rest of it, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Hip Franklin.
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution. Girl, shut the hell up. I thought you hate that.
He hates everyone. Yeah.
Oh man. So shout out to the folks over at Really American and Chip Franklin and the whole crew over there. I used to be a senior advisor over there at Really American, but after the election was over,
I used to be a senior advisor with his hands like is just dripping in money. Okay, Ben, used to be a senior advisor.
Man.
All right, y'all. We will see y'all on Monday. Thank you again for tuning in.
I used to be a senior advisor back in my
Let's
day.
be clear. Let's be
Get
clear.
the cup, Rebecca. Used to be a senior advisor.
David, I didn't broach the subject, David. I didn't broach the subject, David. Let's be clear. It cost me a whole lot more to be the senior advisor, but I do it again. It cost me a lot to be senior advisor for that organization that did a lot of good work. But I digress. That's a lot of. Let's package that up with backstory. There's a whole lot of old videos.
Somebody said, "Take that, FAMU." Okay, senior advisor. Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, it's Friday, and I actually don't. I want to play something that I normally would not play on the show. I have a dark secret. I love fight videos. I've never played one on my show, but last night.
Are we going to play one today?
Yes.
World Star.
Yes, I am.
Right.
I am.
What have we become?
Is it because I have a? It triggers me. I don't have good. So if it's like
you know, if I'm going to play it in public in front of. In front of mixed company, it is the art of storytelling by a guy who survived. He survived a fight, and it just reminded me of you, Rebecca, in the sense of there's nothing better than a good story. Somebody asked a question on Twitter last night: what was the best Twitter story that you had ever heard? And this one came up as the winner. The best Twitter story ever heard was this video. It does contain footage of a fight, but you'll understand why we're playing it, and you'll understand why it won the award of the best Twitter story ever. Let's play it.
I know, I look pitiful, right? But let me put you on. This is me, back against the wall on another block, about to fight a million because my shorty got into some drama, right? I was supposed to be at work. This thinks he's slick, but my spidey senses was tingling. Weave? Look, but then this hits my oh. After that, I felt the same anger that took over Goku's body after Frieza killed Krillin. Word 2. Feel what I'm saying? But after this quick little squab, I tried to slide off the block, because you feel what I'm saying? This ain't my block. But look, you feel what I'm saying? We get into a little 1-2. Weave! You feel what I'm saying? I'm trying to hit him with the Louisville Slugger so I could, you feel what I'm saying, make my escape. But then he grabs me. I got little legs, my you feel what I'm saying? I tried to slide off again, but then they sanctioned a whole boxing match. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm feeling like Craig and Debo. You feel what I'm saying? Look, weave. But then look, he grabs me. You feel what I'm saying? Little legs. I got on Crocs. He done ripped my shirt into a fucking cardigan. You feel what I'm saying? Look at me. Nike shorts. I'm doing bad out here. Look at me. I'm tired, huffing and puffing. I just want to go to home. You feel what I'm saying? But look at this. I love the synchronization. Look how him and his man weaves my punch. Look. Weave. I love it. You feel what I'm saying? That laid me when I synced it. You feel what I'm saying? Look, weave, duck, bow. And I can't even enjoy, look, Spidey senses. And this is exactly how I got to that point. You feel what I'm saying? From this moment on, I really need to go. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know it's nothing but ass whoopers after this. But I can't run, because when you run, they chase you. So you feel what I'm saying? I'm slowly walking to my block. You feel what I'm saying? I'm slowly walking to my block because I'm tired as hell. And what they don't know is I threw up after this. You feel what I'm saying? My adrenaline, you feel, look, titties out. I'm doing bad. But at least I didn't run. You feel what I'm saying? I kind of respectfully walked away. You feel what I'm saying? I respectfully walked away.
He said, we.
We.
He said he turned the t-shirt into a cardigan.
A cardigan, Rebecca.
He said, if you're wondering how I got here.
Because that's how they start them now. Because they've been cracking on BET when they do the freeze frame in the beginning. Because that's how they do all of their movies. They be like, "You're wondering how I got here," and they show you the whole storyline.
Rebecca, you ready? Here go, Rebecca. You ready to start it? Go.
Look at him. At this point, I knew.
No.
But my question is how do you understand what he had to go through? Do you understand he had to go and get all the cell phone footage from everybody on the block in order to compile this? Because there's about at least 7 different angles of cameras that he got in this story.
I'm sure he probably didn't have to go too far. It was World Star and everywhere. This video was everywhere, so I'm sure that they probably all sent it to his ass, or he just pulled it up when he saw it online. Because I know everybody posted it.
And somebody put together everything. If it wasn't him, like you were saying, like, well, yeah, I wonder how I got here. And it was all the shorty's fault. What was it, her? Or that's what he said. So he just ran up on my shorty and hit her. But what did the shorty do? I need that information. Does she know a guy in the group?
The backstory.
Somebody in the group. What was going on in this group that they wanted to target her? How did we get here? I need that information.
But he said shorty was got me in some drama, shorty.
How? What happened? What led us here? Why did the guy come and feel like he can put hands on Shorty? I really would love to know.
And you already know when she was probably wilding, and the whole time she was going off, he was probably like, "Man, come on, you just gotta stop. You about to you see all these dudes out here. We ain't from around here, right? We ain't from around here."
No, chill, shorty.
He was thinking, he was like, "Man, I'm about to get jumped because of her. I can already see it coming."
Man, listen. He said.
So you gonna let them talk to me like that, babe? That ain't right. What my man right
chill,
here?
Shorty, chill. Chill. I got this, shorty. Chill. I got it.
Babe, no, they talking to me crazy. And I don't like that. Go get them. They already done
and it was at this moment that I knew I was about to get my ass whooped.
Right.
No. Hang on. You know when I knew I was gonna get my ass whipped? When I heard her inflection in her voice 20 minutes earlier, I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." I knew it was going to go down this road 20 minutes before. So did this.
Shorty always got me messed up and involved in some drama, yo.
Babe, let them know we got people. Like, why you standing there? Let them know we got people.
Rebecca,
this man had. Hey,
yo,
you know
babe, let them know. Let them know, babe.
Look, if I know my dude can't fight, I would never put him in that position. I'm just like, babe,
never.
Hey, but clearly she knew he could fight because there he is.
No, because there's a lot of girls out here. No, it's a lot of girls out here that want their man to always. You got to know what kind of man you got. You got to know if your man got good like mouth, like he's in like he. You got to know if your man, will disrespect somebody in different type of ways. Like just pull up in the nice car, right, and just leave them in the dust, right, and let them know we out here with money, baby. We don't fight. Or if you got a man that be like, he pull out the weapons and just show them, right, just show them, and then you got those who really just are just not that type. They don't like conflict, physical physical conflict is not their thing. Hands, they don't have those. Okay, so they are just like, you gotta know, babe, just sit this one out.
Nah,
Let's
but
just go home.
he had to reevaluate his whole relationship on the car ride home, because I know he was thinking like, hold on, you don't have no respect for me. You don't have no respect for my safety. You out here just putting us in harm's way.
Hey, somebody grab the gif of that scene from Game of Thrones where the dude was standing off against the entire army. That sister had that brother fighting the entire block on her behalf.
The whole block.
I got more videos.
They better not be fight videos.
No, it's not a good that story. I mean, honestly, it's got I think it's at 1 million views since last night. So the story itself is considered to be the best Twitter story ever. So that's that. I want to play a clip of former presidential candidate Andrew Yang as he is announcing a new party called the Forward Party. And the reason I want to play it is because he and I had a conversation on Twitter last night that I think is going to be interesting to the audience. Let's play the clip.
Hey everyone, I know you heard about Andrew Yang and the Forward Party, and I'm here to tell you actually what it is. It's probably not what you've heard. What we're going to do is actually solve the problems that are literally driving us crazy. What am I talking about? Right now, we have this two-sided duopoly that's just clashing and clashing, and you may love one side more than the other, but you have to face facts that this system is not working. Unfortunately, the polarization is reaching record highs to a point where people can't be in the same room as family members. We're seeing literal violence erupt, and it's going to get worse, not better. We're getting more and more polarized, in large part because the incentives of our political system, our media, and social media all are driving us against each other and making us feel like other Americans are our mortal enemies. 22% of Americans used to cross party lines when it came to national elections. That's down to 7% today. People aren't really appealing to the middle as much because that's not how you're going to win. You're going to win by appealing to the base. This has become a country where partisanship is the most acceptable, most commonplace form
of prejudice. My bad on that edit. The last thing he said was that partisanship is the most acceptable form of prejudice. So anyway, before we give commentary on that, he also said the following on Twitter. Dwayne, if you don't mind running the next clip. So he said this on Twitter about something he calls radical centrism. It's the clip in there. There it is. You're giving radical centrists like me a home. My response was, would love to discuss with you the implications. Okay, I totally did not do this right. Slow it down for me, Dwayne. This is what happens when you take a day off, David. Run it back.
I gotta do it sometimes to prove some things. There's things that need to be proven from time to time.
Oh, see what white people get them a little power.
Dwayne. Why everybody get a goddamn day off except us, bro?
I know,
You
right?
notice that shit stuff for me?
I'm pretty sure that was my first day off in like 2 or 3 months.
Dwayne had a day off. Was it last week?
I had to take that.
He had to take that.
He had to take it. Bubba, you don't have to take it. They paid you to come. They didn't give me $1, so I stayed right in my bed, covered my body up, tucked myself in, rested very well.
So even if I wasn't granted a day off that day, y'all wasn't gonna see me. So y'all were just gonna be stuck. It just won't gonna be no show.
Y'all see this? Everybody, y'all see this in the chat?
You would have had to went to the old
Take down the Pharaoh. Take down the
hell I do got potty mouth.
We would have had to went to the old format.
Poo mouth Bubba. Hell, I ain't got no damn day off. What the hell you think I'm gonna have? Clean mouth? No. But, okay, I digress though.
So anyway,
you can let me just put this out there. You can take whatever days you guys are designated off. Take them damn days off so y'all don't gotta be up here complaining. Okay,
yeah.
Nobody got time.
But just take your day next time. I got you. It'll be DJ Dwayne, and we might get flagged a couple times, but yeah, we gonna have some music every day. Don't worry.
Dwayne will take over for you, Bubba. Dwayne will take over for me too. So we good.
Yep, I enjoy when Rebecca not here. I get to shine on them days.
Right. Dwayne be able to come on camera, be able to talk with her, everything. It's like Rebecca is like the principal, and she come in cracking the board. Y'all remember the paddles? Did y'all ever get paddles in school? No, just me. I'm old. Never mind. Damn.
Yeah, we didn't get at the babysitter. They used to beat us, but
yes, corporal punishment was a real thing. Yeah, I used to get paddled in elementary school in Alabama. They had these little wooden paddles. If you messed up or did anything,
it sounds about black. Sounds about systemic. Sounds about country as hell.
Yeah, it was no child abuse. Let's call it what it was. They were beating our ass in school, and the parents was okay with it. They called my mom and daddy after
if
it was
your parents were okay with it, is it still child abuse? I'm just kidding. It's still child abuse because even I don't. Shout out to my mama, my daddy. They was whooping our behinds every single day. It was with every object in the house, but shout out to mama and daddy.
Extension cords, house shoes, sandals.
Combs.
Ben, bring your mother sucking self back on this damn screen, Ben. You think you slick? You had to call him out.
Why? Because Ben, are you beating your kids?
Rebecca.
Okay, let's get back on track. Rebecca, your story's next. Before the swear jar is full and
wait a minute.
Damn white man, because he know it was true.
Nobody got a job.
They get uncomfortable because those white kids wasn't getting beat like that. Okay, so they get kind of uncomfortable.
That's why they the way they is now, because they didn't get their ass whooped.
Hey, David is just trying to protect. David is just trying to protect everybody, and make sure we all got.
Y'all are gonna have a permanent day off.
Oh man.
Don't say that.
Right, David? Don't say that. Don't put that in the universe.
Oh man. Child, what you mean, man? What you mean? We are independent.
Oh man.
Thank y'all. My God, today. Would it be too much if we played those sisters singing on the? Would that be too much? Can we play that again?
Oh, on the stairs?
Because I just have no.
Because black laughter is beautiful. To be honest.
Oh my God.
It really is awesome.
I know. I look.
Wait, not that one.
What? It's a lot going on. That's.
You gotta try to do this without laughing.
That's what this is, Rebecca?
It has to be.
We about to do this. Y'all know that, right?
Yes. I know. I gotta change clothes, man. We gotta go to break. I gotta change this blazer.
Oh, Jesus. You see how, they're just laughing and it's making you
I got a headache in my head.
But why black folks gotta stomp the ground? They gotta cry. They gotta hit somebody's shoulder next to them. They gotta use their shoulders to prevent them from laughing.
Either that,
why they gotta scream?
They thigh up. They thigh up.
Rebecca, I can't stand Rebecca. Okay.
This is the thing, y'all. When black laughter is really infectious. I really think they were trying to get through it, the challenge on TikTok, without laughing. So it just wasn't. They couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. It was funny as hell.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Okay.
Why we
We
gotta
about to try
laugh
it
like
real
that?
quick.
Okay, let's try.
Right. We gonna try it. Okay. Y'all ready? I'm started off.
Wait. So people don't think we're absolutely certifiable. Put the sisters up on B-roll so they know what we're doing. All right.
Dwayne and David, y'all going to make it better. Okay.
Oh yes, David.
Y'all ready?
Shit, you lucky I ain't got my gift for this from Monk from The Wire.
All right.
Y'all ready?
Hey, you know
Okay.
it's $100 per first.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's go.
I'll pay my fine.
No,
Hey, you got mine, Dwayne? Pay mine too, Dwayne, because I know
You
I'm
didn't say the full
Thank you. I
word.
appreciate
You didn't say
it.
the full word. None of you guys said the full word, but you know better for next time. Stop playing on the show. But go ahead.
Okay, y'all ready?
Put the sisters on the screen, and
It's already on there if you looked at the screen, man.
away we go.
Come on, somebody.
Okay, here we go.
Go ahead, Bubba.
Like it or not.
No.
Going down.
Like it or not.
Yeah, no, I can't sing.
Is going down. You gotta say that line.
Like it or not, it's going down.
I have some fun with y'all.
Say.
I got you. I have some fun with y'all. Like it or not. See, there we go. I was just trying to make y'all laugh. That was me winning. That was me winning right there. I can sing a little bit. I just ain't gonna break it out on this here on Beyonce's internet.
Wait,
Really
David.
do it.
David.
Okay, go, David.
David, get okay, listen. No, we gonna do this for real now. It's the Like It or Not challenge. Hashtag Like It or Not challenge. Upload it to Instagram. Upload it to Twitter. I'll retweet it. I need to hear y'all singing the Like It or Not challenge. Go ahead, James. Do it again.
There you go. That's a good idea. Matter of fact, everybody send them in over the weekend, and we can compile something and throw it up on.
And I gotta say this: my mother just texted me and said, "Ben, do you whip your children?" Damn it, Rebecca Azor. No, I do not.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all, y'all.
My children-
Jesus Christ, no.
You about to have my own. You about to have my own mother.
There's a difference. I'm just
show
kidding.
me.
No, do not put your hands on your kids. I know, Ben. You are really good and stern with your kids. They just see your face.
No. We reason. They're logical creatures. I feel sorry for whoever they date. Okay, Like It or Not challenge. Go ahead, Dwayne. James.
Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Like it or not, it's going down.
Stick.
Like it or not, it's going down.
Mm-hmm. Keith Sweat. Like it or not, it's going down.
Very nasal.
Dwayne.
Like it or not, it's going down.
No, where's Dwayne?
Right.
You can't never do shit right. You
Like
can't do
it
nothing
or
right.
not.
Whoa.
Y'all are just doing just fine without us.
No, David, where are you on this?
Yes, David.
David. Look at that. Some kind of ally you are. No joke. All right.
David,
Somebody said they need a trucker
David,
bubble
it's just
version.
singing. David, are you afraid to just sing? It's okay.
Yeah, I
You
don't
won't be
sing.
in
No, I don't sing.
No one knows
David, I'll
what you
sing
look
with-
like
They
when
can't even see your face. They can't even see your
Nobody-
face.
Hey, everybody sing together.
I don't sing.
Okay, no, everybody gonna sing Like It or Not together, and then we'll cut off. And David, you just keep singing. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, ready?
Ready?
Here we go.
2. Everybody sing Like
Like
it or not.
Nah,
Terrible.
Whoa, wait.
that's what you get.
Did you hear him?
That
It was the
him?
voice of an angel. Here we go. Let's go to a break.
Let's go to a break.
And we'll pull it together.
We actually have a story next.
We do have real stories, real news and politics. But you can't tell me this wasn't the best last 40 minutes of your morning so far. We'll be back. James, it's in your hands.
Got y'all. Can't stand y'all. All right, y'all make sure y'all send them damn clips in. It's gonna be a fun day.
Somewhere unseen. It got a little longer.
And to let y'all know, the Benjamin Dixon Show in the chat room is David talking about save me, y'all. Oh man, Seven Sweetheart, a sleazy quartet. And because David is not gonna make a fool of himself on Beyonce. Environmental Coffee House. Good morning, Brother Bryce. Good morning. KFC said he wanted to hear it in the trucker bubble voice. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, Rebecca is here.
Losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find.
I'm about to log out because I can't with y'all today, okay? Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and make sure that y'all have y'all face in the place tonight. 90s patron party is going down. 90s patron party tonight. Patreon.com/likeitordot. Patreon.com/likeitordot or Patreon.com/the BPD show. Shay, yes you should, Shay. Good morning, Shay. B, I know you out there somewhere. Good morning. Come a little closer. Jam tune, y'all are killing me. Let me breathe for a minute together, please. Yes, Jam tune. Good morning. Oh my gosh, man. My stomach hurts so much right now.
And I know it's losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find.
Miss Newbert, good morning. That's okay, Miss Newbert. I'm nice stuff, so it's okay. They'll be all right. Okay, that's it. Brother Lateef, what's going on, Lateef? Good morning, sir.
She's got a million things to do today, and you know she's gonna do them. There ain't no doubt.
I'm right back.
She's got a million problems.
KFZ, I got me a sleeveless leather vest, too, somewhere that I'm gonna put on. There go, B. She popped in the chat just in time.
She's all above it, yeah, she walks on it, yeah. And yeah, she does it.
I know, Mar, it look lemon yellow, but it's actually like a cream color. This is my light going in and out, in and out, in and out, in. No? Okay.
So don't despair. She's got what you want. She's got what you need.
Be like came right on cue, like right as the song came on. Hey, y'all.
Leave all your worries behind. Just come to mama. She'll take care of all of your drama.
Industrial Arts, good morning, brother.
Just come to mama. She's gonna make it all right.
Oh my gosh.
Feel like she's a queen, but
Truth the Dragon just said a joke in the chat. She said, where do DJs do their research? Wikipedia.
You better listen to me. She's got what you want. She's got what you need. You know she's got everything. So boy, don't you cry. Leave all your worries behind.
Oh, yeah.
Just come to mama. Come on. Just come to mama. She'll take care of all of your drama. Baby boy, just come to mama.
It's Ronnie on the line. Yeah, I know she's stressed, but I gotta say that makes me even more impressed. Cause she juggles it all and does it lovingly. And on top of it all, she keeps on loving me. Her eyes, her lips are my desire. She sways her hips and I'm on fire. Yeah, I
right, y'all. Here we go, y'all. Welcome back to the screen. Ben and Rebecca.
Y'all saw that chat that David just put in the Slack.
No, what he said? He cussing us out?
He would pick the one comment in the audience that's gonna be like, what did they say? Tamara said, David is an angel to put up with some of this ish.
To point out the one comment, David, listen, I feel like David actually has a nice voice. And what's funny is just to find out, because we're just finding out things about each other every single day. I don't really know y'all like that. But I just found out, recently when the Hurricane Ida thing? Yeah. And when Hurricane Ida was passing through New York, we found out, I thought David lived on the outskirts. David's right there in the Bronx. I'm like, what the hell?
David, you remember we pulled up to New York to go have a conversation with that company we won't name. Yeah, no, David is down and like.
At that point, I was in White Plains at that point. I was
White
in Westchester
Plains is
at that
upstate.
Point. Yeah, I wasn't in the 5 boroughs at that point.
But you're in the Bronx right now, which is very interesting. Yeah, it's
wait
funny,
a minute, you had to travel. You traveled up there to come see us, man.
Well, it was like an hour, 45 minutes. Not that, it's basically par for the course no matter where you are.
All right, listen. This is not going. We're not going to turn this into Celebrate a White Person Day. But David's been rocking with me.
Get off of look. Now I'm like, get off of David's back. I'm trying to really include him and make this a diversity and inclusion moment right now.
No. I just want to hang on. Let me just get my truth. David has been rocking with me since before, like probably since episode 2 of the Benjamin Dixon Show when I was in my orange room. So I didn't know you even traveled that day. I didn't know you traveled that far. I thought you were in the boroughs at that time.
I'll just say Sane Progressive.
Oh, don't say that. No, man. It's like legendary. Don't say certain names. Anyway, we digress. David, production has been horrible today, and it's because you took a day off. And James, that lets me know the key for y'all to take your day off is to just say y'all just don't even come. Because that's
like Rebecca. Did. What did she do? Don't come.
David said, Ben, you're on your own tomorrow.
In the words of Kamala Harris, don't come. Don't come.
Rebecca, catch us up with ESPN.
Okay. Thank you so much, David, for reeling my black ass in. Okay. So,
it's just like, look, Careful. Good father's story.
We're gonna be professional for at least one story.
He ain't real Ben or Bubba in, but he had to reel my black ass in. Okay, so ESPN. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, David. I'm kidding. It's a joke, guys. In the comment, it's a joke. But
oh man,
ESPN is in some kind of controversy again because of one of their on-air talents, Sage Steele. She reported this is new. Sorry, I'm reading some updates on it as we go. But recently she made some comments while she was on a radio show. And the comments that she made were very interesting as it related to biracial people in the race that they pick on their forms. Let's take a listen to what she said.
That's the second one.
When you fill out your census, I'm like, well, I don't know when the last time I filled out my census was, but if they make you choose a race, she's like, what are you going to put? I go, well, both. She's like, well, you can't. She goes, well, what about Barack Obama chose black and he's biracial? I'm like, well, congratulations to the president. That's his thing. I go, I think that's fascinating considering his black dad was nowhere to be found, but his white mom and grandma raised him. But hey, you do you. I'm going to do me. I do think as women, we need to be responsible as well. It isn't just on players and athletes and coaches to act a certain way. So when you dress like that, I'm not saying you deserve the gross comments, but you know what you're doing when you're putting that outfit on too. Like, women are smart. So don't play coy and put it all on the guys. And again, I'm not saying anybody deserves anything. But we need to be responsible as women too, because we know what we're doing.
Wow.
There's so much that happened in that whole thing. I wish we would have broken up that way. But starting off with the comment that I made, we don't know why she's okay. So she's talking about race.
Day off. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, I did take a day off. When I take a day off, ain't no news for me. And it was very nice. But coming back to it,
I'm sorry for interrupting. Forgive me, Queen. Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. I know you guys get unsettled when I'm not here, but let's bring it back in. So, with the first comment that she made, it having to do with race, and how the fact that she doesn't. Let's understand, she is a Black woman, right? In America. Like, look at her. Hair she got a little kink in that curl, okay?
Right.
Sis, you're Black. You're Black. You are. And I'm pretty sure on ESPN, they refer to you as one of their Black anchors or their Black talents.
Right.
You are that. So for you to say, and I know that you're biracial, but America literally views you as a Black woman, and whether you like it or not. And for you to say, we do have choice, right? We do have choice, so they say on paper, to pick who we want to be, right? If you're biracial. But girl, America views you as a Black woman. Now, for you to say, why did Obama, because they threw out Obama, because he's one of the a well-known biracial people, and the fact that he chose Black. The host of the show threw out Obama's name, and she was like, I don't even know why he chose Black on a card. Because his daddy ain't even around. Now that, to me, first of all, talking to a white person about Black business, and that ain't even true Black business. Remember, we were saying this yesterday, when people really throw this information out there to this kind of audience, what does this audience do? They really already perceive us in that way. So this is just kind of like making them be like, it came from a Black person, it came from a Black source, so it is believable because they heard that Black families ain't got no Black daddies. We can clearly see it in one of the well-known biracial people that go by Black. He ain't even got no Black daddy. He was raised by a white woman, so he should be going by that, which is BS. Like, the fact that I don't like that. I don't like that the ESPN person talking about politics or whatever is drug into this, and in this conversation is representation for Black folks. Secondly, she's talking about women and what they wear and how it's not always on the players or the whatever. I think that conversation was going into rape, if I'm not mistaken, or sexual assault. Yeah. And I don't like the fact that she is a representation here. And like I told you, the audience that is listening to this is going to literally look at it and say, it came from a Black woman. And so this is something that's going to be believable. You do not speak for all women, sis. Okay. So what we can tell you, girl, you got them shoulders out. So you knew better than to be in your bedroom on camera, sis. What are you selling? What are you selling? Like that's what it sounds like. Like, that's what it literally sounds like. So for me and then her with the Band-Aid on the arm, it looks like to show us that she's been vaccinated. Yet the longtime sports network personality also contracted COVID-19. And this is from ESPN. Sources told the Business Journal, listen, they said that her not appearing on air goes beyond her diagnosis, though. The Business Journal wrote, both ESPN and Steele thought it was appropriate for her to take some time off. Of course, this is going to be paid, but it was her comments. Now, here is my issue with that. Every time we see some people speak up on the network of ESPN, right? It's usually when the men speak up, there's not much that we see happen to them when they are on ESPN. Men speak up on politics a lot. I see white men. I watch the damn whatever ESPN shows come on, and I will watch these men, mostly white, say something referring to politics or say something out of bounds. So I'd be like, are they serious when are they seriously mixing the sports and politics thing? And they're saying these, comments and all this stuff, but they're okay. Even some of the Black anchors or Black personalities or talents on ESPN will say something and it'll be okay, right? But when these women of color, and I'm not saying that Sage Steele was right for her comments or whatever the case may be, but I will say ESPN on this one. Every time a woman of color speaks up or around any conversation of politics, what we see is they are reprimanded like nobody's business, right? We saw this with the whole Maria, and I forgot what the woman's name was, the redhead, right? She spoke up against that woman and literally had a record of her, and she was now removed, right? And then we got what's her name? Jamel Hill, right? She spoke up on something political, and we ain't never see her again. Now this one. Now, whether I like her comments or not, because I'm, let's put it out there, I don't. But the fact that they went in 2 seconds and was like, nah, she got to go. She got to go. Why though now? Because I've heard a lot of people that sounded really far right on your network, speak for far right things on your network, white men, and y'all have done nothing about it. But yeah, for some reason, when these women of color speak, it's like, hey, girl, listen, you know you already ain't supposed to be here. Now you shut up now, because they gave her like a slap on the wrist because they told her they'll give her like, hey, we'll just give you some paid time off or whatever. But it's still, I just don't like the way ESPN moves when it comes to their personalities of color. I really don't. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. But other than that, sis, where you going with these comments?
Way to be faithful to your argument all the way through that and flipping on the
loved it
when you needed to shift gears and argue a different position, because a lot of people would have just followed that straight through to say, yeah, she should have been fired, blah 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 blah. But you were like, nope, hold on, you got to tell the truth wherever it takes you. Like it or not.
Like it or not.
Hey, maybe if we say Carl Mack 10 times, maybe we say it 10 times, he'll show up, he'll appear.
Dr. Carl Mack. Dr. Carl Mack. That man done hit the road and never came back. His name is Jack, and he ain't coming back.
I talked to him last week. He's good. He's doing good, man. He's doing good. He's just, doing it.
So you talked to him, Ben?
I talked to him. He's coming back. Yeah.
Oh, he's coming back?
You said he was coming back this week, man. He ain't here.
That's what parents tell the kids. Look, that's what parents tell their kids when their daddy done went out to the store for cigarettes.
And there you go.
And that's there you go
in front of mixed company doing the same thing.
I ain't say it was black dad.
I believe he's been fathering out of state, doing that thing with his college age son.
That was a really poorly timed comment.
I ain't say it was black. I ain't say it was black dad now.
That was a really poorly timed comment, David. Oh man. But no,
not fathering out of state. I'm gonna use that one.
He's fathering out of state.
It's just fathering out of state.
I did finish it, but I don't think you heard me.
Y'all are out of control today. What is
all that is the new version of your daddy went off to the war. That's it.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Oh man!
Oh my gosh!
Out of control. This is what
wrap up.
This is out of control, and I just feel like at this point in time, I want no parts of this. What were you guys doing yesterday? Because this is the energy that you guys started with on the show today. So, what were you guys doing yesterday?
We actually had some really great conversation. It was actually really good. We went this bad yesterday.
So now you guys are bringing that same energy on today and trying to drag me in with y'all. See, the spirit of
yesterday wasn't even a whole lot of jokes.
I got to blame it on the bald-headed brothers. Listen, I just want no parts.
Nah, yesterday, hold on, I ain't gonna let you misrepresent us like that, because yesterday wasn't a whole lot of jokes. It was a lot of serious topics. The bald black men held it down yesterday. We were some
educated, black, intelligent brothers on the screen yesterday. We was in our bag yesterday.
Oh, y'all was securing the bag.
This is not bad.
No. We weren't securing the bag. We were not securing the bag. We were in the bag.
Yes.
Okay. So
I need the security of the bag to be a little, needs to be expedited. But yeah, let me start.
So it's not secured yet. So you were inside of the bag, but it wasn't secured yet. Okay, got it.
Securitization of the bag must commence. Post haste.
So what were you guys talking about yesterday? Give me like a little bit of a.
No, I had my dude Tim Black on yesterday. Yeah, and we just chopped it up about everything. Yeah, we've already gone over into the after party.
Helpful. Did she do it? She's like, she let you do ain't like.
So here's the question: Do we keep the after party open?
The after party can go. This is on me since I wasn't here. I want to spend a little bit more time with you guys, and unfortunately, I got to give you guys the bad news. Don't fight me, because I really, 100% wanted to be at the after party today. I forgot about a wedding that I have to be at today.
You mean the patron party?
Yeah, the patron party, and I really wanted to be there because I want to do the 90s 2000 outfit. I want to do that. Unless y'all want to switch it to Saturday, I could come on Saturday.
You scared the hell out of me because I thought you was about to say that you got to go back in the office. But that's cool. If you missed the patron party, I'm cool with that, girl.
I would never say that on air like that. I would never drop that like that. I would tell y'all first. Because I probably would be crying or something.
Was your heart palpitating? I'm like, oh Jesus,
bro, you don't understand. I was about to walk out.
About me. You guys really, really care about me and my well-being.
My heart skipped a beat.
I really appreciate that. No, we are not.
That's like the third time she's done that to me.
Yes, Dwayne David.
Hey, this came from the chat partially, but on Thursdays when Rebecca's not here, we got to make sure that it's only bald black guys. And Thursday's show is going to be called The Bald and the Brilliant.
Oh,
I can roll with that.
I thought you were going to say.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say The Bald and the Beautiful. I was going to say, hold on now. No, we don't want to go that far. But The Bald and the
She's beautiful, though.
No, we're not talking about you. This song ain't about you.
You ain't here.
No, they are because it's Thursdays.
Yeah, you ain't here.
Oh, Thursdays, I'm not here.
Yeah, see, we making plans
It's
for
not about me.
You.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
Y'all do know that y'all are my therapy. That's
right. Laura Stroud in the chat said, a wedding tonight. Rebecca
No,
Azor.
seriously, it's cheaper. No, it's cheaper on Fridays. If you want to see the clips of the wedding, since I think I'm lying, just follow me on the gram. You already know what's up. You'll see me in my stories, and you'll see me like really cute, and having drinks and celebrating love. Now, I would love to be. I forgot all about this wedding until I got the reminder, and yeah, I promised her I'll be there. So
I have a secret too, because I forgot all about the patron party, which is funny as crap because I've been plugging this patron party every day this whole week. And here it is. We we're going to the haunted house on Friday night. Yeah, we're going to the haunted house. I done bought the tickets. And then Q was like, how you going to go to the haunted house and you had a patron party to do? I said, man, what the F word? But it's cool because I can use them for tomorrow night. So I'm good.
Okay, man. Hey, man. Hey, man.
You guys like playing with emotions.
Oh my God, you had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I'm like, how does this story?
Man, I've been blowing it up all week.
Because I'm about to go throw this behind in a circle at the haunted house party.
Okay.
That's what I thought you were saying.
And y'all know me. As much as y'all talk bad about me on air, I would have been like, okay, James, no problem, man. We'll work it out. Let's send an email out to all the patrons. Let's reschedule.
I want to be there though. Like I feel like y'all should do it on Saturday, but that's just me.
See, now my Saturday already booked. No,
we'll have to do another 90s, and we can do 80s and 70s too.
Okay, so do the 80s and 70s.
I like the theme. I like the themes because it makes it better.
So just so that there is no confusion for anyone listening, watching, or observing,
it's still tonight.
The patron party is tonight.
Yeah,
it's tonight.
Patreon.com/like it or not, or patreon.com/the BPD show. Either one gets you access to the club. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I have really nothing to say. I'm just gonna kind of like.
You just cut me off for no reason. Good, my God.
Yeah, no. Well, you've been cutting me off all show. Don't start now. What I will say is, I will check in. I will check in on. I will check in probably because I'm probably gonna be home a little later. So I will check in after if I am not intoxicated, and I will be wearing my mask. People, I will. I promise. But if I'm not intoxicated like that, I will be strolling in because the wedding is like 5 minutes away from here. So I got to do my hair. I think I'm going to go with the bob, but I got to do my hair and then like whatever. But I'll check in if I can. I will. I promise. I'll check in if I can.
That's cool. Well, you know us. We'll go. And 90s had a lot of music that I saw. And I said 80s, 90s, but 80s also had a lot of music. So I'm just like, I can just stick to the 90s, and that's going to carry us to about 6 o'clock in the morning. So.
Because 90s is everything. You know, 90s has a lot. A lot.
Speaking of 90s music, y'all see the next verses that was announced? It's gonna be Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One.
No.
Oh wow.
October 17th.
Wait a minute. That's the next week.
Next Sunday.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
Okay.
So here's a funny story. So Big Daddy Kane.
She's got a story for you.
So at my university, the most illustrious university in the nation, sitting on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida A&M University, the best HBCU in the nation. But at that university, my professor was Play from Kid and Play, and he created this. We had a class called the Architects of Hip Hop, and they teach that class over there. And he was the guy that brought that course to us. So shouts out to Play. But he was my professor, Professor Chris, and he built this whole thing. He was like, we're going to take a couple of, elite students at the HBCU, and my name was mentioned among those elite students. And we gathered together and did this Architects of Hip Hop show. And the person that we interviewed was Big Daddy Kane. A lot of us in the room heard of him, heard his music, but it wasn't our age group. But I can honestly say, hearing him talk and just his swag and all of that, it was like Daddy Kane. It was such a moment because we were taught a lot though. Like he just kind of spit a lot of facts, and he was just so cool about it. And that was a moment I would never forget. That and I was a part of the production team for that particular event.
Rebecca was trying to have him change his name to Sugar Daddy Kane.
I don't know. I was like 2 years old. He still was looking like a grandfather to me, but it was a beautiful moment. Now I would probably be like, "What's up? They call you Daddy Kane."
No. You gotta put the Big Daddy in front of it. Don't disrespect the because they call you Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy. Hey, Big Daddy.
Wait a minute. We didn't cut off the. Hey, we're still public, folks.
Oh yeah. Oh, so I say all that to say,
Patreon.com/like it or not.
Yeah, but I say all that to say, actually, Ben, I say all that to say, yes, go to patreon.com/like it or not, become a patron today to get these moments in the background, because right now we're very light. We would be a little bit more hair laid down, flowing draped down the back. But right now you're getting just the bun. But listen, I say all that to say our critical race theory has now become something about teaching people, just teaching Black stories or whatever. And it shouldn't be that. It should be history, period. Right? I know that at our universities, they have to create programs, especially at the PWIs. They have to create these programs. When you go into African-American history, what are you learning about? Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. You're not learning about Fannie Lou Hamer. You're not learning about her connection when it comes to voting rights, right? And now the conversation online is taking critical race theory to some kind of end of like, oh, Black history. Well, Black history is history. And we have to understand history in America literally was built off the backs of Black slaves, indigenous peoples who this is their land. And, listen, like, do not play with the history that isn't yours. Like, we learned so much about American history, which isn't even the years of American history. When I say American history, I'm talking about what was created for us to learn, that white history right there. I mean, there's so much more when it comes to indigenous people's stories. Why don't we hear about those? Why don't we hear about, more of what the Black people did for us other than marching? But you know why they choose marching? Because they can take some of Martin Luther King's words, right? Pull those and say, well, he said the Black and the white people joined together. And now we have come where the Black and the white people have held hands. No. But what did he say after that and before that? Because that's what y'all like to do. I take that little strip. You know how y'all do in the Bible, these evangelicals, they like to take that little strip right there and make you go by that, and made a lot of slaves believe that they should have been enslaved because they deserve. They took that one little part in the Bible and took all the other parts about rebellion and standing up to evil and all of that out of the Bible, so that slaves wouldn't be privy on that. You see, this is what they're trying to do to us in America. I love that I went to my HBCU I love that you guys went to your HBCU. I hate the fact that the people that we have in office today are secretly or right before our eyes, and we don't even know because we so focused on COVID-19 conversations. They taking, how much is it? I think it was 30 million away from HBCUs when they said they were going to put that money, 30 billion away from HBCUs. I'm talking about Joe Biden's administration today, when they sat there and walked and pushed and campaigned off of saying we're going to put more money into HBCUs, right? They pledged to put, I think it was $6 billion back into HBCUs, $4 billion back into HBCUs. And things have been done, but right before our eyes, before we couldn't even, it's just like they literally came like a thief in the night and took away 30 billion away from HBCUs. That hurts our schools. It does. It really does. And to say they have Kamala Harris right there sitting at the right hand of Joe Biden. And where is she from? In the HBCU. And what was she doing when she campaigned? She was wearing them pearls and them chucks. She was wearing them pearls and them chucks. Why? Because she came from a sorority, a black sorority, right? She came from the Divine Nine. She represented all of that blackness. But we don't see her at all when it comes to black issues. We don't hear from her at all. Remember she said America isn't really racist. Remember she said that? And this is our black female vice president. Remember that? Now she's a part of the crew that took away from her alma mater, Howard, right? They took away from our HBCUs, and now we sit here looking crazy. It's very important for us to continue to push black education. Black education is very important. Black schools are very important. And so,
Rebecca, it was actually, I said 30 billion, but it was actually more. And this is from Newsweek that was reporting based on the Associated Press. HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities that were looking forward to 45 billion in funding, may be faced with just 2 billion under the Biden administration's multi-trillion-dollar spending plan as a result of Democratic infighting. And this is according to the Associated Press. That infighting is representative of the bipartisanship that Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are trying to push so hard. And in the midst of them fighting for bipartisanship, what has snuck in underneath, and you're right, underneath the Biden administration, because they're responsible for this. If this goes down this way, and they are negotiating and they are triangulating and they're trying to get some bipartisanship, look who gets cut. HBCUs, black folks, to the tune of $43 billion worth of cuts.
That's terrible.
No. Just for everybody to just really contemplate on out of everything that we've talked about today. At the end of the day, the people who got this thing, who won the White House, who won the Senate, we get stuck holding the bag.
Yep. And somebody said it best. Sadly, the one good thing that Trump did, Dems want to cut that funding to HBCUs. And that's the truth. You can already tell, because remember the rhetoric that was being said when Biden was campaigning and everything was, we'll give you money to go to school. We're going to get rid of those student loans so you'll be able to go to school free. All of that changed when he got in office. You realize that, right? No, we're not going to eliminate your student loan debt. And now we're going to cut your funding to the schools that you went to.
We did it, Joe.
Joe, we did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe.
Yeah, y'all did it, all right. Y'all lied to our mother freaking asses. That's what y'all did.
Look at. Here's the thing, man. And Rebecca, you called it in like 0.2 seconds, like 6 months ago. I forgot what episode it was, but when bipartisanship get bipartisanshiping, who get cut out? Right here. This is it. So all that stuff they're talking and negotiating about the infrastructure, about the bills, the budgets, and the funding, and the debt ceiling, who's getting squeezed out? Black folks. We got any more funny clips? Maybe.
Hey, now walk it out. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. Now walk it out. DJ, now walk it out. DJ Mike's on the track. Walk it out. DJ walk it out. We at it again, baby. Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, listen, I've seen this video. It's a video of the sister. What is that? What is that device? It's like a bike that you can walk on?
Yeah, I've never seen it before. James, I was curious too. I don't know if this is something they actually sell.
Yeah, it is. It's like a treadmill bike. I think that's what it's called. It's so you're like walking on the treadmill, but it's still powering the bike, if that makes any sense. It's like you're walking, but you're walking
they replaced the pedals
while riding
for some kind of walking track.
Yeah, while riding a bike. It's really weird.
I want to try. I want to try that. That looks good. That looks good to me. All right, what else we got? Let's run one more clip. Let's run one more clip, and we're gonna get the weekend started early, James. We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
we're gonna get out of here because tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the patron party. We wanted to give you a little bit more of public access to what we do in the after party, which is let down our hair, such as it is, and we're gonna have a lot more of that tonight at our 90s themed patron party. Patreon.com/like it or not. Dwayne or David.
Let's do two more.
Okay, so we're going to do two more. All right, maybe you call them.
AP6, and then we can guess some music at the end. But AP6.
Hey, real quick.
Don't take pictures of me.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Ben, didn't you say where you got that information from about the number, the 46 billion, 45 billion?
Yeah. Newsweek. It's in Newsweek right now, but it's also reported by the Associated Press. What do you got?
All right, Armand Williams, because he said that $43 billion is completely off target. The number is closer to $2.5 billion. No, I just want you to know that we always make sure that we do fact checks before we put any information out there. So I don't want you to. My thing is, because you said it was misinformation. No, it's not, because I don't want to get the channel flag. So no misinformation right there, sir. $45 billion is what is being reported by the Associated Press and also by Newsweek.
Now, listen. Yeah, there it is. Play the video.
Yeah.
Dwayne.
Don't take pictures of me. Don't take pictures of me. It's none of your business.
So usually I'll do the initial video and something like that, and then when I find out who the person is, I'll do the update, and then that's it. I had no intention of doing another video about this guy, and then Home Slice here decided to message me on Twitter and tell me what a lying piece of shit I am, and that he is going to sue me for deformation of character. Is he blaming me for the Grand Canyon? Now, as funny as that is, there's a bunch of stuff in that message that's funny. First of all, he's claiming that he was not taking her picture, and he seems to think that's the reason everybody thinks he's a piece of shit. And while that certainly contributes to it, the reason everyone thinks you're such a piece of shit is because of your actions in that video and the way you spoke to her. It's not defamation to show you doing something that you actually did in 4K. But he says, wasn't taking her picture, he was going for a pack of cigarettes. Okay, so then when she accused you of taking pictures of her, your response was, oh no, I wasn't, I don't know what you're talking about, right?
Don't take pictures of me. Don't take pictures of me. It's none of your business.
No, you told her not to dress like a whore, which has nothing to do with you buying cigarettes. Although it could, in your twisted mind, serve as a reason why you took pictures of her. Then he's hung up on weird things like, I don't shop at Target, and that's not my truck anymore. It was stolen. I don't have that truck anymore. As many times as he said he doesn't have that truck anymore, I'm pretty sure he absolutely still has that truck. But as long as we're looking at messages from old Leonard, let's look at some messages that he's sent other people recently. We got this one saying he didn't take the pics, but anyone can take pictures in a public place. We got your classic fight me, bro. He's a big fan of offering multiple women pictures of his dick, even ones who tell him they're underage. That is shocking as it may be. He's also a racist.
Wow.
Like you're a real piece of shit, Leonard. And as for your last message to me, where you stated that you're going to sue me, and if that doesn't work, you'll come visit me yourself. I don't know if you're in a hurry to get to hell, but that's certainly one way to get a fast pass. So my recommendation is that you crawl back underneath that rock you came from.
All right.
Wow.
Hey, He's usually a lot more civilized. He's like he had time for him today.
I missed that whole thing. What was he talking about? What did I miss?
At the whole ER at the end of that.
Yeah, he had
some guy.
ER.
Yeah, he did.
A hard ER. All right, David. What's the last one?
All right, the final one is some joy. Which one was that? Which AP7.
AP7.
Black classics you should know in the first few notes, part 7.
Watch out.
That's my song.
Okay.
That thing. That one. So y'all going to the concert?
No.
With tickets too expensive? Expensive.
No, I just thought about it. It was like, I love the Fugees, but I'm just like, I'm only going to go to hear Killing Me Softly, Fuji La.
Oh, well, no, we talked about this already. And I told you that
because we don't think I don't want to hear Lauren do her old personal renditions of her old songs. I want to hear the old songs like they were on that album, which will never happen. Not said until she get the masters back. Until she gets her masters.
But yeah, it's just we don't know how the Lord works. So every day isn't promised. So if you get an opportunity to see them in that sense, you should take it, because these people in this world, there are things, there are diseases, there are all of that coming all around. And I don't put that on you or them, but I'm saying if you got a time to see a legend, see a legend. And that's how I'm gonna just put it.
Good. I saw Outkast twice. Like they did their return concert. So those are my legends, because I came up with Outkast. So when I saw them, they had the whole Dungeon family, the Goody Mob, everybody with them. That was it for me. I've seen Jay-Z and Beyonce several times too, but Outkast, seeing them downtown Atlanta under the skyline, the most magical thing I've ever seen in history.
And that's beautiful, Bubba, coming out of Atlanta. But for me, as a Haitian, Fugees coming back together, and, after all the drama in between that, who comes back together after that?
I know.
To see Outkast. And to see Lauryn Hill. Well, Outkast is nice. Outkast is nice. I'm not saying they're not legendary, but I also will say that the Fugees are very legendary. And I think that, if you do have an opportunity to see any legends that you like, definitely take a chance and go see them, because like I said, there are so many people that are passing or not doing their music anymore or whatever, and we will never get an opportunity to see them do their thing, play their craft, do their music. So I definitely would love to go, if I get the opportunity on somebody else's time, to go and see the Fugees.
There's an African angel in the building. He's an African angel.
I don't know if it's in this building, but we will see. We'll see. Somebody just moved up in building
so bad, Rebecca.
Somebody moved in building too.
It's nothing but Caucasian angels out there in the mountains where Rebecca at.
Because she shows
the Caucasus Mountains.
Somebody just moved in building too. I ain't gonna lie. And they be peeking out the window. I'm trying to see what they be by. I'm like, what's up? Is that a black person?
Okay.
Hey. I can't tell though, but we'll see. We'll see.
Taking over.
You better step out there on that balcony one day in your robe on with your tea, singing Ari Lennox.
Oh, listen.
Go out in the rollers.
I be on here literally sunbathing, laying out in the sun on my balcony. So whatever
Let's get it.
whatever the
with the real live thirst traps. Look at her.
Okay, with the hair out, with the long hair end just flowing down, looking like, damn girl, you just came from the beach. Ain't no beach up here. You in the mountains.
I literally do that. I sunbathe right there, and they be like, like they just be looking like. I'm like, I could see these people looking at me. It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's an easy way to get you one of them old white sponsors that's out there with you. You gonna have all your bills paid. Keep playing
I'm about
around.
to fall out the chair.
Keep playing. I'm about to be on.
Rebecca Zora brought to you in part by some.
Yeah, brought to you in part by Mark from 215.
Mark from 215.
I swear, there's a guy. We went to Kroger together.
Yeah.
Came back at the same time. I'm walking up my building, and I just came from working out too, so I have my workout clothes on. He gonna say, "Wow, just seen you at Kroger," and I'm like. First of all, then we walked up and on the same floor, I felt very uncomfortable. So when I went out to get my bags, I saw him standing near my car, ready to get my bags from me. Sir, you will not put my bags down. I'm going up with all 10 of these bags on my arms, and I will be watching how you coming upstairs with me. It was so awkward. It was so crazy. But he was like, yeah, I seen you at Kroger. Okay.
Have y'all seen that video? I hate you. Lighthearted, but y'all seen the video of that sister who was running into her apartment as fast?
Yes, and that was super scary.
Yeah, that's scary as hell, dude.
So she ran into her apartment, and I guess she was being chased. And thank God the camera was working in her building. Camera caught that she was running into her building, and then the guy swiftly comes in, and she already pushed the door. He tried to push it, but she pushed it and already had it locked. So that is a very, very, very scary instance that I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of females go through, a lot of women go through. I used to walk through Brooklyn by myself and like have to fake like I'm listening to music on them streets to get to my block, because I would see guys waiting literally to like pull somebody, and I would have to like have, weapons in my pockets while I'm walking, but fake listen to music because I had to literally look at my surroundings, make sure I went through the same block every single time I walked. I couldn't cross through another block to make sure that I was safe going home. You guys, being in my parking lot, even though I have all the buildings have police officers designated for them, right? But even me going outside at a certain time at night, it is super scary. I look back at myself to see if the gate closed. I'd be looking around. It's like, it is scary to be a woman and living alone, child. It is very, very scary. Meanwhile, I'm thirst trapping on the balcony, but it's very scary. It's very scary.
Don't worry. Richard is watching. He just waiting.
Don't say that.
He got his little money gun.
Richard is in the context of this conversation and the way you said it. Richard is a scary ass name, brother. You gotta.
It really is.
Richard is kind of scary.
Bernard or something. I don't know.
Hey,
that's not any better.
Hey! Remember, we not going downplay the Bernards out here.
Yeah.
Bernard is not. I'm telling you, Bernard is just not the best type of.
Hey!
Benson.
You know what?
You're the Benson.
Tyler.
Thank you all for
How about
joining
Tyler?
us today.
Not Tyler
Thank you all
Hackner,
for
but
joining
Tyler.
us today. We're gonna put an end to this Bernard slander.
You can't.
Bubba, play some music. You want bet?
But just for the record, I offered up Bernard as a better solution, as a better name than Richard. That's what I was doing. So it wasn't Bernard.
Oh no, I got
I'm
you.
sorry.
I got you. But
I respect. I put some respect on your name, man.
I ain't got.
Ben, what's your middle name? Paul.
Sponsor.
Yeah.
Purnell, ain't it? Purcell?
No,
Purnell?
It's Paul. No, he is church.
Ain't it Purnell?
It's given Paul.
Damn.
Yeah. It's Paul.
Oh,
I was about to say Purnell.
Seems like, it's something simple like Paul.
Dang, Paul is a strong name. Paul is
Benjamin
a strong
P.
name.
Dixon. When you say P, the P in Dixon is the Benjamin P. Dixon. And think like you said, Benjamin Praline Dixon, Benjamin Paul, Premier Dixon. No, it's Paul.
Because as we know, Ben came from the church, So when the story of Saul turning into Paul, or it could be vice versa, I don't know. But there's strength in the change there. So Ben is the changed version, and he is Paul, Benjamin Paul.
I've changed. I would say I've changed.
They said there's a lot that goes into a name. They said that there's a lot that goes into a name. My name is just Rebecca, but who's Percy?
I thought it was Percy too. Percy or Parnell, like dead ass. I'm dead ass serious. I thought it was Percy or Parnell.
That's my daddy.
Peter.
Percival.
Peter. Percy's my daddy name.
Oh, your dad's name is Percival?
No, my dad's name is Percy.
Oh.
I said Percival. That's what I said too. Right?
Dang, imagine
Percy.
a baby running around and be like, Percy.
Everybody had old names.
But you know what his nickname was?
My mom's name is Bertha. And I'm like, I can't imagine the kid being Bertha. Now, Bertha, sit down.
My grandmother's name was Ethel. Ethel.
I was just about to say, how about
my
Ethel or
sister's
Nora?
middle name is Ethel.
My great grandmothers were Ethel and Nora, and I can't imagine that at all.
Yep, I got
Nora. You can slide with Nora because the kids. Nora's slide with Nora.
Dora.
I got Aunt Edna. You know, you just set, man. When you give little babies old people names, you just setting them up to get clowned in school.
Yeah, for real.
But it's better when you can say like I feel like when you say it with an accent, it comes prettier. Like it's nice. Like
what, a country accent, like Edna? Edna?
No, like a Haitian accent. More better.
Oh.
Like Belta. You know, Belta. It has like a roll there, right? That's Bertha. You know, Rebecca. That's beautiful. That's Rebecca, right? So but these regular old Black Strong used to be, you know, it's some crop sharers kind of day. It kind of gets
damn it. Sound like they had strong feet.
Wait, just say Dwayne.
I said them names that make you think they sound like they got strong feet.
Tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the
Where's that
party. The madness continues. Patreon.com/liking tonight. DJ Exclusive, get us out of here, man.
Bye, guys.
All right, y'all. Love y'all, mean it. All right, y'all. We will see y'all tonight. 9 o'clock. It going down. The discussions at 9. We're going to get into the music at 9:30. You don't want to miss it. Patreon.com/liking tonight. Patreon.com/the BPD show. Make sure that you are in the building tonight, y'all. Deuces.
Revolutionary guy let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. You take the west, I'll take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat in the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but mans keep walking. Yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let her tell me I'm awesome. Yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees. Came from the jungle, up in the trees. I got a few tricks.